Bean. I'm Mr. Bean.
Gentlemen, how's it going, boys? Good to see you all this evening. How you doing? Good to see you, Ross. Hello, hello. I've remembered how to turn the lean function on, guys. So look, I could do the Mr. Bean thing where I can go I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this. Hey, Rick Life. Hello, Mirror Slav buddy. How's doing, everybody? How you all doing? Hello, Nova Crusader. This is fun. I like acting with my VTuber model. Yeah, so I thought I've kind of got two new shows I'm going to try to stick to and commit to at the moment, because I've got a lot of video stuff obviously I'm working on in the background, and the problem is that if I actually make any streams that require any effort, then that takes energy and time away from the video production. So I was kind of hoping that if I have a series where I'm talking about my thoughts on VTubing and talking about my thoughts on like shit around anime, I can kind of just rock up to stream and try to make sense of my incomprehensible thoughts and share it with you, and then that way I'm still making content in some regards, so I'm not going silent for months, right? But yeah, so basically, as you guys know, no doubt, the reason why you're subscribed in the first place, I have I have a lot of thoughts about things relating to VTubing and anime, and I thought, hey, you know what? Instead of arguing with myself and like having wars with myself in my own head about my thoughts about shit going on in VTubing, I've got a captive audience I could torture with my inane ramblings instead, and that's you guys. That's all you watching the stream right here. So yeah, thank you very much for showing up so I can rant at you incomprehensibly. Hey Kara, how's it going, buddy? So I thought for today, actually, I'd like to talk about the subject of girlfriend experience. Maybe we can talk about the ethics of girlfriend experience and kind of why I think that it's really not something any VTuber will want to, ideally, actually not want to do in their career, because it can be quite dangerous, not just from a career perspective, but from a personal security kind of perspective as well. So I'm going to go into that information in more detail. Yeah, you haven't missed much. You haven't missed much, Alucard, don't worry. The Maulington girlfriend experience. I am not a girl. I'm a big, strong, burly man. It ruins lonely men. That's part of it, Ross. But I'd be interested if anybody here. Obviously, going into this, I have a very negative outlook on girlfriend experience. But if anyone can, if anyone thinks that girlfriend experience is a force of good, then I'd be interested in knowing your thoughts as to why that would be. I mean, I can think of some good reasons. I can think of some reasons as to how girlfriend experience can kind of, I guess, be a benefit to people. But I do think it's a mostly negative thing. Even if you're upfront and you tell people ahead of time, right? You tell them, look, I'm married or I have a boyfriend. It doesn't matter. It's completely irrelevant to the discussion around why girlfriend experience is bad, in my opinion. But obviously, if you're upfront with having a partner or whatever, then at least you can kind of maybe perhaps cross off that you're doing GFE just to like exploit and take advantage of. It sounds really mean when I say this, right? But I don't mean it in like a negative way. I'm just stating, obviously, that some perhaps the majority of people who enjoy this kind of content are on the sad and lonely boy kind of stage, right? However, I know, again, not everybody who consumes GFE does it because, you know, they're lonely and they're touch starved, right? I know there are people who do it because it gives them the butterflies and the warm gooey feelings that you might get from ASMR, for example. That's fine. Let's have a look. Oh, you've already got some comments for me. Let's have a look. Let's read the chat. Maulington yapping stream. Exactly. Today's a Maulington yapping stream because it requires no effort. I like doing things that require no effort, despite the fact I make 2-hour-long documentaries on obscure VTubers. VTuber fans are already not okay. Those guys on the next level. Best not to attract them. Yes, I'll get into that in just a moment. You're right. You don't want to attract the certain kind of people who will be coming for the GFE. Okay, so GFE is good because it captures... Oh, that's an interesting way of looking at it, Time Wizard. So GFE is good because it captures undesirables and keeps them away from good content creators, I'm not sure it does, honestly, but I guess it does act as a form of containment. GFE is a step too far for me. Like Shondo says, every streamer is parasocial, but GFC is parasocial too far. Yeah, I guess to be pedantic, I wouldn't say that 100% of stream enjoyers and streamers are parasocial, but sure, most of them are. Again, just to immediately get on a tangent, right, before I start talking about the GFC stuff and stop waffling on about nothing. Well, the overuse of the word the overuse of the word parasocialism annoys me. I don't know what the textbook definition of it is anymore, but I think parasocialism is meant to be about dependency, right? It contains the word para as in parasitical. It involves dependency. Now, I don't consider making content or having a relationship with your community or chat where you base it off of just a natural desire to like entertain people and to want to make people happy. I don't find that. I don't consider that to be inherently like parasocial or dependent. It's perfectly normal behavior, right? It's like, I enjoy making content. I enjoy trying to make you laugh and doing things for you. And I don't do that because I crave your love and attention. I do it because, well, I'm having a blast. And I do it because, again, it feels good, right, to entertain other people. So that's why I do it. I don't do it because I want you guys to, I don't know, send me lots of money and fucking, like, make 2,000-word essays on Twitter about Lion Man love and shit. It's just good fun. I just don't think too much about it, really. Obviously, I really appreciate all the support and the viewership I get from you guys. But again, it's kind of, I always keep myself grounded in that mentality of, look, I'm just a spurgy English quote-unquote person on the internet, just trying to entertain an audience. That's all it is at the end of the day. But anyway, yeah, so let's actually start talking about my perspective on GFE. So the first thing I want to get into, which sounds very callous of me, right? But this is going to sound callous, but I do genuinely mean this. I think it needs to be said. I don't give a shit when a girlfriend experience streamer is like getting mad abuse or that there's some kind of like meltdown from a community or on Twitter because it's been the Discord leaks have happened and it turns out she does have a boyfriend this entire time, or maybe she's made the cardinal sin of male on streaming, and you know the schizos start cutting her name into their fucking like arms, and you know they all go absolutely mental, calling her out big time, threatening to kill themselves, threatening to kill her. And I know that sounds very callous to say, right? And I wouldn't say that GFE streamers deserve it when this happens, because it's not even a case of that they deserve it. It's a case of they've literally earned that kind of reception by engaging in that content in the first place. Like, deserved isn't even a factor. They've earned it, right? So it's kind of like, if I put my hand, yeah, on a grill and I burn my hands, yeah, I'm a victim, right? I'm a victim because I've just given myself fucking 3rd degree burns on my hand. But I'm the retard who thought it would be a good idea to put my hand on a grill and fucking burn my hands. And what bothers me a bit about the girlfriend experience scene in VTubing, particularly on Twitter. You guys won't see this too much if you aren't on the VTubing Twitter scene and seeing all the fucking nonsense that goes on there. But it's like clockwork. There's so many examples of girlfriend experience streamers, very popular ones and lower ones as well, who have really suffered in both their careers, their personal lives, from doing their GFE shit and then not engaging in proper persec or opsec to hide the fact that they have a significant other or a boyfriend. So you got people like Rushia, you got people like Gunpie. Gunpie is a recent example where she was like leading her community on, thinking that she was, you know, some kind of like obsessed yandere. Yeah, exactly, Sponge Buddy, exactly, the Gunpie moment. So yeah, it's like, you brought these people into your community in the first place, so that's on you. And second of all, it's like, there are so many examples of how doing GFE has blown up in other people's faces. You'd think if you were in this industry, you would learn by now not to do it, because it keeps happening and the fallout is terrible. And what happens is that every single time a GFE streamer, she goes crying to Twitter and she says, "Oh my god, they found out I'm being plowed by my Mexican gardener Roberto, and now my chat are a bunch of cucks." Right, and now they're screaming about being cucked, and they want my head on the plate. And it's like, I just don't have any sympathy for these people, because it's like, well, yeah, what do you think was going to happen, dumbass? It's like, if I keep putting my hand on that grill and burning my hands, that's on me. Stop putting your hand on the grill, you fucking idiot. It's like, fucking stop doing it. Like, how many cases of it going badly wrong do you need before you learn from someone else's example and stop doing it? Like, for Christ's sake. Gunpowder was a real deserved moment, right? Hey, Darth likes music. How you doing, buddy? Yeah. Gunpowder broke the ethical codes even most GF streamers do not do. She did. That's absolutely right. But kind of my point is there on that long-winded rant is, oh, thank you very much for the $5 as always, buddy. Thank you for Maulington GFC stream. When again, I'd love to. I will be doing shit like BFE streams, but they won't be serious BFE streams. They'll be like shit posts where together with you, the chat, you can help me try and sound sexy. Right, and we can do all sorts of weird degen BFE shit on the stream and laugh about it as I wheeze into a laughing fit. But yeah, where was I going with this? But yeah, it's kind of like with the GFE stuff, you have to think about who's going to be the primary audience for girlfriend experience streams. I mean, yeah, you're going to get people who are hedonistic gooners, right, and they just want to feel the fuzzy wuzzies from hearing a cute woman's voice, you know, making, you know, whispering into the ear and going, "I love you, my baby boys. Who's Maulington's little cucks?" Shit like that, right? But again, I know it's crazy as well, but there are people out there who genuinely believe this stuff, and it always shocks me. They genuinely think you're in some kind of relationship, and I think a lot of the people who are into GFE also, it tends to attract the same kind of people who get so like fucking obsessed with the what's the word? They get so like obsessed with the object of their affection. They will probably make a very serious go at trying to dox you, find out where you live, and stalk you, right? Because that's another thing that's quite rampant among streamers who do an awful lot of GFE and also like kind of vaguely sexual ASMR as well, is that they always have at least one stalker who's like full dox them, but they're kind of keeping it to themselves, and they're always kind of in that person's community doing weird stuff. And that's kind of like, again, the dangers of girlfriend experience is when you're a woman on the internet, unfortunately, just purely from the virtue of having a vagina and being on the internet and having a feminine voice, that is already going to attract an awful lot of really like horny, mentally unwell, like unstable schizos in your inner sphere. It's like there's so many. I watch quite a lot of small independent VTubers, right? And it's rampant, particularly among the smaller ones, where I look at their chat, I look at their communities of regulars who have been subbed for years, and it is just basically people saying the most degen, unhinged, like inappropriately sexual shit about the streamer, right? Like I was watching one of my favorite VTubers, like Shikimi Ashino, I remember the other week, and she was doing a hand can stream, and then as she like got up to go get something from the kitchen, like fucking 20 people in the chat, there was a brief moment where her feet and legs are showing, and like people in the chat were just absolutely just hammering the chat with, "You have really sexy legs, I like your feet," right? I don't mean like it wasn't the normal funny thing where people were like, "Oh, feet pics are free." It was like people actually making really fucking weird, inappropriately like sexual comments about her in the chat, and they just brazenly do it. So again, when you do GFE experience, that's your whole community as well, right? That's basically like 99% of your chat, and you're putting yourself at very serious risk personally when you do that, unless your persec is shit hot. And of course, the problem is as well is that when you do GFE, is you have for the entirety of your career basically put yourself into that box of no male on stream ever. So the problem is, right, is that if you do decide to build your career off of doing GFE, and then after some years or maybe some months, you do become somewhat of a notorious VTuber, and you've got an opportunity to do like collabs with, let's say, the Hollow Stars or a really big male independent VTuber. Maybe you want to do some kind of collab with, I don't know, just any male of significant renown, then that's out of bounds to you now. You can't walk that back, because the minute you mail on stream, people are going to throw a fucking fit, and that's going to be your career over, and your docs is going to be leaked. You're going to be doxxed for your 4chan group on 4chan is going to go like fucking mental, and it's just going to cause the whole thing to go burning down. How goes your professional yap, Mr. Maulington? Very good, thank you, Krivus. Your boyfriend is stuck in the toilet with no toilet paper ASMR. Keep going, I'm close. You're all filthy fuckers, you are. You're all a bunch of dirty bastards, and I love it. It's funny. Hey, Cello. Oh, fucking hell. I always forget how to say your goddamn... Why are Spanish names so complicated? I'm going to call you Jose. Hello, Cello Jose. Good to see you, buddy. Having an occasional male collab is good filter. It is, but the problem is they always come back as well. You put a male on stream and they go, ruined, I've been cucked, she's a filthy whore, and then they come back a week later like nothing's happened, and then they give you hundreds of dollars to make kissing noises into the microphone. I'm going to start assembling my Sasabi whilst listening to the stream. I want to see a picture of it when you're done, Time Wizard. It looks good. Shoto or even one of those. Yeah, exactly. People like Shoto, for example. Although the thing is about Shoto is that Shoto's a femboy, right? So if you're a femboy, the no male on stream schizos, they don't get too upset, right? Because femboys generally usually aren't kind of seen as men as such. That's why they can get away with slightly more numbers than the average male VTuber. Be a lolly based and have a male on stream once in a while. Best filter for all the tourists. Well, here's the thing. It tends to be the more hardcore like anime and VTuber bros tend to be the ones most susceptible to girlfriend experience. That's a little bit about the dangers of doing GFE. But one thing I wanted to get into actually as well is we can get into other stuff as well. But one thing I want to get into is the ethics of girlfriend experience, right? Because again, girlfriend experience, that kind of streaming, there is some kind of monetary transaction, and it kind of disproportionately affects people who are very, very lonely, very sad, and probably have some kind of issues in their life. And one thing I see people do sometimes is that they try to frame GFE as a positive by saying that you're just providing a service. You're providing a service to someone because, let's say, for example, they are like touch-starved and they don't have any like the terms of affection in their life. No one there for them. So you're providing them with a service that they want to make them feel better. And that's not really a perspective I particularly agree with, because when you're lonely and you're depressed, that's your instinct, that's your natural biology telling you that there's something seriously wrong with you and that you need to fix it, right? So human beings, we were designed to breed, we were designed to pass on our genes to our offspring. So when you're feeling depressed and lonely, I know it's difficult to find a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever, but those emotions are there for a reason. It's basically your body telling you to stop being in your room all day, every day, eating shit and gooning to pictures of little cartoon Japanese women talking about feet, basically. And I think that one of the major problems with GFE as well is that I see some people argue in favor of it by saying that when the schizos, freak out because of their GFE person doing the mail on streaming or whatever, and then that community gets kind of like put on full blast, people tell them to go touch grass and stop being weird, and it's like, right, yeah, I mean, yes, that's kind of true, but again, the problem is that what you could liken GFE, you could liken it to being a drug dealer. The thing is that depression and loneliness are extremely powerful negative emotional extremely negative emotional reactions. And what GFE does is it's basically like giving fentanyl to a fentanyl addict. So what you're doing is when you do that kind of content is you're kind of ruining and you're preying on a bunch of, you know, sad men who are at the lowest point in their life emotionally and psychologically. And kind of like given this GFE stuff, I think it's fine in a sense if, you know, you've got someone who's like really down, and maybe that GFE, maybe that warmth from the GFE stuff is stopping someone from wanting to you know, kill themselves. I can easily see how maybe someone's fantasy about being in a relationship with their GFE streamer kind of gives them the strength and like psychologically to continue on in life. That's fine, but that should always be seen as like a temporary thing. You shouldn't rely on that as like a crutch. You shouldn't just continue like in perpetuity continuously like consume that kind of content, because again, what's going to happen when that GFE streamer like quits, or she, you know, for whatever reason her career stops and she's gone? What are you going to do then? You're not going to have anything and even more. Yeah, hit it once, you get hooked forever. Kind of like crack cocaine in that way, right? So I think just telling people to just go touch grass, or telling people to just, you know, stop being weird over their GFE streamer, you know, interacting with males or having a partner, is an unhelpful and unconstructive way to address the problems. The assortment of stereotypes, yeah. My hentai taught me to be afraid of femboys. Yeah, the thing about femboys is, right, is we've all seen the video, we've all seen the meme. Be careful of Monster energy drinks. I have a reason to make sure I finish the fucking thing instead of procrastinating. Does anyone have any arguments in favor of GFE? Do you think there's anything I've missed? Like, can anyone think of any positives of GFE outside of maybe giving someone the temporary strength, you know, to continue psychologically with life until they can sort themselves out? Also, hello, Pascal Saucer. How are you doing, Pascal? Hi, Darren. Hi, Ice Daddy. Good sleep aid. Gachimuchi is forever as we can. Alright, maggots, I want 5 hot loads on DI's hat now. This thing is $200. Okay, GFE is temporary. Oh, wait, sorry, no. Good sleep aid. Good sleep aid. Okay, a good sleep aid. A good sleep aid. GF by its very nature attract people who will be abused by it because they are vulnerable. Yep. You get to see a bunch of streamers and not understand what a girlfriend is or does. You get to see a bunch of streamers not understand. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's actually, yeah. If you've had a girlfriend before, you know that GFE streams is like, it's kind of like an incels idea in most cases of like what a girlfriend is. Where if you've had a girlfriend before, you know that girlfriends could be like really fucking obnoxiously annoying. They're always asking questions about stupid shit that you don't want to answer. They always interrupt you at the worst times, like a fucking cat. You know, you got the game on, or like you're in the middle of watching like a really emotional anime. Like you're watching the Naruto versus Sasuke fight in the original Naruto, and right at the climax of the Rasengan versus the Chidori, and then your girlfriend fucking walks in and she's like, oh my god, why are they trying to kill each other? Oh my god, who's gonna win? It's like, shut the fuck up! It's like, shut up. I'm trying to watch the fucking thing, I don't know. Shut up. As we can. God, yeah. Girlfriend experience is just being really fucking annoying. Nice Lumi impression. Silence woman. Oh god, yeah, actually we have to go on a tangent now about women. Have you ever watched a movie with a woman before? And you're like 30 minutes into the movie and she gets her fucking phone out and she gets Wikipedia open and then she starts like looking at fucking Wikipedia to see how the movie ends. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? We're watching the movie. Can't you just wait an hour to see what happens at the end? Why are you fucking wikiing the fucking ending of the movie that we're watching right now? What? The shit women do. The shit women do, man. It's crazy. It's so stupid. Has anyone else experienced that before, or is it just me? Do I just know how to pick them? Lumi's ranting is true. It is. Lumi's ranting is too GFE. It gets on my, unironically, gets on my fucking nerves big time. That's why I keep moaning about wanting to go back to 2023 Lumi, back when Lumi would actually shut the fuck up sometimes. What kind of weird did you date? I mean, I don't learn my lesson, to be fair, VZ Gaming. All my ex-girlfriends are like yapping blonde Aryan women who just say the first thing that goes into their head, and I eventually leave because I just get really annoyed with all their yapping, but then I pick up another one because I just really like blonde women. That don't follow my fucking lesson. That's why shouts at super chat silence toggle. Yeah, luckily I've had good movie watching experience. Eraserhead makes them shut up. Yeah, okay. So a bunch of Lumi clones. Yeah, pretty much. But the thing is, I don't watch Lumi because she's like GFE material. I watch Lumi because, funny enough, she reminds me a lot of myself. Lumi's like a more talented version of myself, but obviously I'm very manly, whereas Lumi's very girly. But other than that, she's just like me, for real, for real. That's why I like her. Ooh, you had a girlfriend that had V speech from V for Vendetta memorized, and that was pretty fun. That's awesome, actually. Yeah, V for Vendetta is a really good movie. That's aged very well, and it's very relevant to the United Kingdom at the current time, given all the Orwellian shit that's going on here at the moment. Hey, Sample, how's it going, buddy? Manly? What do you mean, manly X? I'm a big, strong, burly man, don't you know? Right? Look at how manly I am. Look at my big manly eyebrow. Look at my big manly eyelashes. Give me a kiss, my lovely boys. Stop X in the chat. I am the king of male VTubers. Okay, listen to my voice. Listen to how manly and sexy my voice is. Okay, I have replaced Vox Akuma as the sexiest man in male VTubing. I'm a masculine, sexy male. Stop! I see you in the corner of my eye. Stop fucking Xing me in the chat. All right, it's not funny. You're not funny, chat. That's why you Xing. Stop Xing. What about Taka? Who? You mean Takahata, right? You're speaking about that. What about Taka? Taka's Takahata. Oh, okay. Okay, you know what? I'll concede. I'll concede to Taka, but I'm second. Okay. It's not in the Middle Ages where depicting yourself as a lion is cool. Yes, it is. And it's not the Middle Ages, actually. Depicting yourself as a lion was cool and masculine up until the Victorian age. Thank you very much. Fuck, you never mentioned him. You have about as much sex appeal as Austin Powers with Down syndrome. Grr, baby. Very grr. Hell yeah. Austin Powers with Down. What would Austin Powers with Down syndrome sound like? He'd be like, "Do you find me sexy, baby? Good." Oh my god, that's horrifying. Let's move on to something else before I get banned for ableism.
I like to have Takahata because we're both Alucard. Bitches love cannons.
And it duh, baby, very duh. I like it. Anyway, where were we? What was today's stream about again? Oh yeah, GFE, right. What have I said? I've spoken about how it's I think it's like unethical to prey on like really sad and lonely guys, and like, you know, especially when you're charging money for it as well. And I see these fuckers, right? They go praying after these men, and they're like, "Oh, if you want me to keep talking to you, then you need to keep giving me more money," and you're bankrupting these poor bastards. I mean, some of these guys, God bless them, they're going to be in their late 20s, they're going to be in their late 30s in some cases, and they're going to have essentially spent all their lifetime, all the money they've built in their life up until that point, giving money to some stupid fucking cartoon anime girl who actually doesn't give a shit about them and will eventually stop streaming one day once she's made enough money, or she gets like too old and bored to continue on doing it. Yeah, back to the actual topic of the stream. Cello has volunteered himself to be the next Bond girl. Well, given the fact you keep referring to me as James Bond, Felix, I'm not fucking Cello. Oh wait, yeah, I see Cello's comment here. I would date you if you were a woman and you were American, Maulington. I don't know how to react to that. I don't know if I should be flattered or disturbed. Okay. But, or when she gets caught with messages by a boyfriend during a stream and has a meltdown. God, yeah, I can't imagine as well. Just imagine how much pressure you have to be under as well, being a girlfriend experience streamer, right? It's like, you can't chat to any guys you can't be friends with any guys, you can't talk to any male VTubers or any males, generally speaking, in public, otherwise people are going to have a meltdown. You can't have any male voices in the background, otherwise people are going to assume that you're sleeping with someone. And you have like the creepiest fucking like threads on 4chan and shit from people who have a weird like obsession and are like autistically breaking down every nanosecond of your stream, like looking for anything and everything. It must be absolutely terrifying. I mean, that reason alone is why I think you should probably like try to stay clear away from doing GFE experience, because God, why do you want to attract the attention of these people? Sure, in the short term it might lead to bigger funny numbers and you might be able to get a fair bit of cash very quickly, but it'd probably be safer, quicker, more profitable to just do OnlyFans at that point, because at least with OnlyFans there's a transaction where you're basically just flaunting your body parts for people to goon over, whereas when you're doing girlfriend experience, you're basically, again, selling that crack cocaine experience where you're basically trying to sell people a cure to their loneliness and depression. And the thing is that when you're just selling like your feet pics or your tit pics or your armpits, whatever the fuck floats your boat, when the gooner, when you're catering to gooners, when the gooners have coomed, they return to a state of normalcy and then they fuck off and will go do something else, and they'll only come back when they want more shit from you to goon over. The problem is that when you do girlfriend experience, you're unfortunately, whether you like it or not, it's a one-way parasocial, very deep emotional connection where they become absolutely obsessed with you, not your character, you as a person as well. So yeah, it's not something you can just switch on and off. It's whether you like it or not, you decide to stop streaming one day, some of your fans are going to be coming after you and want to know where the fuck you are. Bless you. Selling someone the cure that makes a disease worse. The girls aren't smart enough to be doing it on purpose most of the time, I think. Most of the time they're also lonely and want positive reinforcement from the viewers. It's broken people feeding. Oh, that's an interesting way of looking at it. That's a very interesting way of looking at it. I do wonder. That kind of like makes some sense to me. I can understand that line of thinking, but then at the same time, I guess to kind of go into, I guess, a kind of little tangent, but to tangent away from GFE a little bit. If you follow like the past lives of a lot, but not the past life. Is it the past lives? Yeah, the past lives of some VTubers, or you know their like alt accounts that they vent on. There's actually quite a big dark side to many of your, well, I guess it depends on your point of view, but potentially, depending on your point of view, there is actually quite a big dark side to many of your favorite VTubers, particularly when it comes around to what they think of their fan base, what they think of men, just men in general, but then also what they think of male VTubers. So, I mean, if you didn't know, there's an awful lot of VTubers out there, like really big and popular ones, including even Phase Connect VTubers as well, by the way, who openly either hate men or they hate male VTubers, right? And in the case of male VTubers, I know many of you guys who aren't like male VTubers yourself will be like, hell yeah, based. I like this VTuber even more now. Obviously, I don't particularly appreciate it, seeing people say male VTuber hate genuinely, but you know, whatever. I chose to be in this industry, and I chose to be in this space, so I accept, like, I'm going into an industry and I have to expect that, so I don't cry about it like some male VTubers do. But the other point as well is what I want to bring up, is that a lot of VTubers, even corporate VTubers, have openly stated on alt accounts, past size, whatever, that they actually like hate, not all of their fans, but they actually hate a great many of their fan base. Like, they hate an awful lot of their fans because essentially they don't appreciate like the humor, they don't appreciate the lewd stuff, and they don't appreciate like the tism and shit. So there is an awful lot of female VTubers in this space who openly, publicly on main act like they're really appreciative for like art and jokes and the sex stuff and, you know, the lewds and whatever, but secretly behind the scenes they actually think you're gross, disgusting, they hate you, and they wish you'd actually just like fuck off, essentially. So well, I think when it comes to this GFE stuff, I actually wouldn't attribute it to like stupid, naive young girls just not knowing what they're getting into. I do think many of them do it maliciously with the intent of exploiting vulnerable guys in order to make a quick buck. I mean, when you take a look at, I guess, like the content cycle of many VTubers, what you'll notice, again, it's not the case for every single like corporate VTuber, because we've got people like Yuko from Idol, for example, was a prolific G8 girlfriend experience streamer, right? You had Pissgate, for example. Again, people like Rushia did like full GFE, and then you get people who kind of ride the line of GFE with like sexual, parasocial ASMR stuff. But what you'll notice is that a lot of VTubers, even popular VTubers who've been going on for quite some time, they don't do girlfriend experience streams, and they whenever it gets brought up by their chat or in the community, they kind of steer well away from it. They kind of hide away from it. They shy away from it. They try to deflect and move on to another subject. And I don't know, maybe I'm just like over-analyzing, maybe I'm just autistically like over-analyzing things. But I think that most sensible, like successful VTubers recognize that when you're a girlfriend experience streamer, you're basically you're guaranteeing an expiry date on your career, and it's like you're putting a big target on your back that will potentially ruin the sustainability of your VTubing career. Again, I think someone like I thought the Resident Evil music would fit this topic very well, honestly. I thought so too. But it's like the problem is when you do the girlfriend experience stream stuff, and I think I don't know, again, maybe this is why Lumi doesn't do it. You think about Lumi, right? Kaneko Lumi doesn't even need to do ASMR and GFE to basically create that level of devotion in her fan base and among her community, where, like, you know, essentially what I'm trying to say is that for many people, Lumi is GFE and ASMR just by streaming like a normal woman. So based on that, if she did actually try to do GFE or ASMR, then she could probably rake in so much money from that, and like probably go through like another mass expansion of like doubling her audience and like attracting a massive audience of, you know, people who are really like fucking parasocially attracted to her, and gooners and the like as well, even more than there are already. But I reckon the reason why she doesn't do it is because she's the kind of person, I think, where she's in it for the long haul, and she wants her content and her personality to do speaking for her. So I think she's worried that if she did start doing this GFE stuff, then basically she would have to cut herself off from people like Max or Seth, Mandalore Gaming, and she would have to ride on even bigger eggshells than she does already. And that's gonna, obviously, that must get you mentally at some point. And it puts her, again, it puts a lifespan on your streaming career, which already will probably have a relatively short lifespan, because most streamers, even really popular streamers, really do start to experience very severe burnout, or their career just basically dies after that 7 years. So I think that kind of doing GFE is almost like kind of getting the red eyes. It's like getting those red eyes from the Death Note. It gives you a short-term it gives you a short-term buff, but then it reduces your lifespan. So yeah, I think doing that kind of Lumi is a dangerous woman. God bless her. I feel bad for poor Lumi. I'm like watching Lumi, and I'm like, yeah, I like Lumi. She's funny and she's witty, and she's got a great sense of humor. And then it's like I look at chat, and chat's like, oh my god, Lumi's so hot. Lumi's got the best voice, and I fucking love Lumi's voice, and it's like, ooh, oh god, okay. The Shinigami eyes. That's it. Yeah. Hang on, let me get caught up with chat as well. There's been an awful lot of comments here. Yeah, we're all broken and exploit each other, not in a Machiavellian way, just following the path of least resistance. Yeah, but the problem is as well, is it's like, where's your empathy, though? Where's your empathy? It's, again, I hate this mentality as well in content creation these days of doing it for the content, right? Like people like your Johnny Somalis and people who do like really just stupid, depraved shit, or, you know, rage bait, or do other dumb stuff just to get like views and likes and clicks, you know, and drama baiting, stuff like that. I mean, just make content that you're passionate about and that you love for the sake of it, instead of trying to take the path of least resistance like a fucking Sith Lord. I mean, it's the thing about people today. People today cry about how every like thumbnail and every title is like clickbait, and it's like garbage and nonsense. And it's like, well, yeah, but the reason why content creators do that is because that's all you guys like that's all people fucking click on. Like if you've got some kind of like weirdo who like me, for example, you've got some kind of weirdo who's like really passionate in the subject and just wants to talk about their love of something, people usually don't really care all that much. They just want to endlessly like consume drama and like the McDonald's slop of content. Yeah, I mean, that's basically, you've said it quite well there, Cello. Lumi and Sheena do unintentional GFE just by being likable women on the internet, spurging out about some male hobbies, and then having a nice model and having a nice voice. Again, yeah, that kind of double dips into that kind of fan base. In DSP. Fucking hell. You know, I just to, again, go on a tangent about Darkside Phil. I can't believe it's 2025 and people are still lolcow harvesting Darkside Phil. Like, I remember the day Darkside Phil first became a lolcow on the Suffolk Awful forums in the Recipe section. Right? I remember watching fucking Diabetes and Slow Beef back in like 2005, 2006 talking about Darkside Phil on the Suffolk Awful forums. And now it's like 20 years later nearly, and people are still like fucking talking about Phil. Like, god damn. Hey, Hero. Hey, Hagfish. How's it going, buddy? Content Brain. God, yeah, I can't fucking stand Content Brain. Speaking of which, I really wish someone would just fucking put Johnny Somali away. I'm sick to fucking death of seeing Johnny Somali on my feed all the time, and seeing this dickhead like going around harassing people with impunity. I think Johnny Somali like is the perfect representation of what I chat. I haven't had anything to drink, and I haven't had any chocolate buttons or sugar, but now I'm going to have to go on a rant a minute about politics, right? So bear with me for a second. Hang on. I'll get over this really quickly. But I think Johnny Somali is indicative as to the major problem that comes with basically giving the government a monopoly on violence. Because back in the day, if you went back to the 1950s, if you had these fucking prats like Johnny Somali who technically weren't really breaking like major laws that require arresting or like requires, you know, them to face some serious jail time, that doesn't matter, because if you're a nuisance in your community, the men in your community ideally would all pay you a visit, and they tell you under certain circumstances, they would say to you, all right, stop being a prat, or we're going to come back and we're going to fill you in, right? We're going to fucking kick your ass and then kick you out of our community unless you fucking behave yourself. And the problem is today is that people like Johnny Somali would probably stop what they're doing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he wouldn't. He's already had his ass kicked. But maybe if Johnny Somali got his fucking ass kicked 2 or 3 more times, maybe he'd actually, you know, stop doing what he's doing. Maybe he'd finally learn his lesson. But we're kind of in this situation where he can't really go do serious jail time for his nuisance because he hasn't done anything massively illegal as far as I know yet. But at the same time, like the communities that he's harassing can't teach him a lesson either, because if they go around and knock the ever-loving shit out of him, they're going to go to prison a long time for battery. So it's like, yeah, it's like I think we should to some extent go back to the old system where you just let communities police themselves. It's like, right, you won't face any jail time, okay? We won't have a criminal record, but we're gonna knock you out until you learn how to behave yourself. So I personally, I prefer, if I'm being a dickhead, if I'm being a nuisance in the community, instead of going to like prison for it, you know, knock some sense into me and I'll fuck off and go somewhere else, right? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. What's he facing at the moment? I've been trying to keep up with what legal mindsets coverage of the Johnny Somali stuff. Yeah, I'm genuinely amazed Johnny Somali didn't get fucking killed in South Korea with this shit he pulled. God, the Koreans and the Chinese really don't appreciate you fucking with the comfort woman. I mean, they're still really sore with the Japanese after all this time. Oh, what happened, Hagfish? Things didn't go right for me. You were supposed to fly to the Philippines today. Oh shit, the Heathrow thing. Are you okay, Hagfish? Like, what happened, Hagfish, at the airport? There was like an oil leak or something. I know counter-terrorism police were called to Heathrow over whatever the fuck's going on. Part and parcel of living in our new society, guys. Expect terrorist attacks and, you know, other shenanigans, right? That's part and parcel of living in a multicultural society. Just have to deal with it. What happened? Not quite sure at the moment, Miroslav. Heathrow Airport was closed down because there was some kind of, apparently, they're saying an oil leak in like a power station around Heathrow, but they've called counter-terrorism police because potentially it might be terrorism related. He's finally facing a lot. But the thing is, he's facing a lot of charges, but is he actually going to see the inside of a prison cell and fucking stay there? I love that part and parcel meme is still well remembered. Well, yeah, considering this is my country, Time Wizard, I'm a bit fucking pissed that the non-native mayor of London is response to like mass terrorism and rape and grooming gangs in London is to go, yeah, well, it's just part and parcel about living in a big city, innit? Well, no, actually, for hundreds of years, like terrorism and like mass murdering was not part and parcel of living in a big city. Anyway, I understand. Yeah, the Japanese, Koreans, and Chinese still hate each other like nothing else. Yeah, man. I mean, God, those 3 people are those 3 nations racist as fuck, and they still haven't forgotten the war. Even worse than us, honestly. No backup generators in Heathrow. Oh, was there no power, no electricity either? Fucking hell. Oh, it's just a power station blew up. Okay, right. Yeah, they were talking about counter-terrorism police, so I thought it was relating to that. Crime, yeah, but foreign-backed terrorism, no. Yeah. Anyway, back to GFE stuff. Let's see, what else is there to talk about? Yeah, I didn't expect today to be a particularly long stream. I just kind of, like I said at the beginning of the stream, this is more of just like a yap session that I wanted to do to... Has the music stopped playing? Play again, music. There we go. I just wanted to basically have a chat with you because I was bored. Basically, the whole inspiration for today's stream. I was bored and felt like talking. I'm making spare ribs for a rib witch. Ooh, are you going to keep the ribs in your rib witch, or do you take the ribs out? You know, they it's the rib witch. That was at McDonald's, isn't it? It's a McDonald's rib witch. I remember this. The Simpsons hyped the ever-loving fuck out of the rib witch. I do like some barbecue ribs. They're very nice. I had some when I was in Florida. The McRib, that's it. Yeah, I went to the South and I had some like Louisiana like grit cake with like the barbecue ribs, which is like fucking delicious. I had grits for the first time last time I was in America. Absolutely delicious. When I go to America again, I'm halfway there. Another 6 months and I'll be in America again. I'm gonna eat all the grits that I can. I bloody love it. I'm interested in watching a Yap stream, even though I have to watch so many streams, man. Thank you, Miroslav. Hell yeah. I love talking about stupid shit that comes into my head as well. I don't know, I'm just trying to figure out other shit to talk about now relating to GFE. I kind of just wanted to get out the point there where I think that if you do girlfriend experience, you're putting a massive target on your back and you're putting yourself at like big personal risk, and you're basically like guaranteeing that your career is going to probably blow up and end in flames at some point, so you shouldn't do it. Ideally, if you can. It's a short-term gain for long-term hassle. You don't want to deal with that kind of community. Because again, the same kind of people who like complain about the audience they've built, when they complain about their audiences, it's like, again, at the end of the day, chat reflects the streamer. So if you hate your audience, that's on you. You've done something to have like a community of like gooners and I don't know, you know, like parasocials, right? It's like, take this community for example. I make content relating to Phase Connect, and I say dodgy slurs, and I use coarse language, and I have some spicy political opinions. Unsurprisingly, some of you on here like making oy vey jokes and talking about very spicy shit. That's on me for attracting that kind of audience in the first place through my content. How about I do a bit don't you the fucking smiley face reply? That's exactly what I'm talking about. I know who you are, chat. I know which websites you frequent. I know who streams you watch, chat. I fucking see some of you guys in some of these streams. I watched the Invader collab during work earlier. Jerry, Dizzy, Eber, and Lemonhall, my ears. Yeah, I saw that as well. Every time, thanks to the fucking Star Knights. Fucking it's stuck in my head 24/7. You know, I have this ability to predict what's going to happen in the Star Knight community a week before it happens. So, like, do you guys remember seeing that someone did an actual psychological survey into the Star Knights and proved, scientifically speaking, that the Star Knights are a cult? I said on Twitter a week before that survey came out, I said, man, the Star Knights are a cult. And then a week later, this fucking like study that comes out that proves scientifically that they are in fact cultists, which is crazy. And then about 2 weeks ago from today, I said that the Star Knights aren't going to rest until every word in the English language is replaced with a J and features jelly in some way. And then I look at Twitter, like I've looked at Twitter for the last 2 weeks, and it is literally Star Knights, like replacing every word with a fucking J now. They're talking about Jerry's like feminine genus. They're talking about, I don't know, just shit that begins with a J, like Joel, genuses, like fucking JFE. JFE, I like that. Yeah, JFE. That's actually pretty funny. I like that. China. China, yeah. Jerry's Gemini Giles, yeah. I haven't seen the jelly Pokemon evolution to Clara, yeah. Faith Connect has a lot of blue-haired women these days, actually, doesn't it, thinking about it? I don't know. I was taking a look at my gacha lineups earlier, and I seem to have, looking at my gacha lineups, I seem to have a thing for blonde women, white-haired women, and blue-haired women. Like, all my gacha characters across all the gacha games are like full teams of blonde, white, or blue-haired women. I don't know what that says about me, honestly. Star Knights need everything replaced with J's and W's. Then you sync those to another word. Yeah, you mean like you mean Jawas, right, Felix? You mean Jawas. Jerry is Jigga based, yeah. Christ. You know, it's great to see. It's great to see both. I wasn't on my bingo card to see like Jerry and Rie have a massive surge in popularity in the last year, but it's great to see it. It's always nice to see like the love of Phase Connect get spread around. Just trying to think about now like other shit we can use to kind of talk about GFE. What's a big? Can you guys think of like any moment maybe you've seen on Twitter or like you've seen a girlfriend experience meltdown, and you've seen some like commentary over it, you've seen some takes on it that kind of made you think, I'm not sure about that one. Like, I don't know. there's like the Gunpie situation, which is like the most recent example of, yeah, like the Gunpie one was the most recent one. Maybe I'll just tell you guys about like the Gunpie drama if you don't follow Twitter. Who doesn't know about the Gunpie drama thing? Who doesn't know about Gunpie? God, what fucking riot! How would it like destroy your career for like no profit and for like a completely avoidable way to completely destroy your VTubing career? Fucking hell. Jawa, don't jate me because I'm dutiful Jawa. JB, if you jid of that I don't know the reference now. That yee ass haircut, you get some bitches on your dick. N-word. Nope, I'm trying to purge my timeline of trash. I don't want to get into it again. Fair enough. It does genuinely affect your mental health trying to like follow VTuber Twitter. Every 5 seconds, right? I shit you guys not. Every 5 fucking seconds on Twitter, there's a Google document dropping all the fucking time, and the sad thing is, like 90% of the Google documents being dropped aren't even any fucking drama. It's like you get people dropping Google documents because it's like, oh, I was talking to this male VTuber, and I voluntarily slept with him, and it turns out that he's basically a man whore who sleeps with loads of women. So now I'm going to drop this Google document basically demanding you all cancel him because he's a man whore. And it's like, okay, and you're a slut too for sleeping with him. You did it voluntarily, dumbass. And again, a man sleeping around isn't a cancelable offense. Who cares, right? It's men like sex. If you were so upset about this guy fucking you and then dumping you for another woman, maybe don't allow yourself to get like rizzed and groomed on the internet by dickhead male VTubers. I don't know, that's just me, apparently. I respect the I respect the grift, but I fail. Yeah. You know what, Kryvis? I actually agree with you there, Kryvis. Again, as much as I hate the ethics, as much as unethical as I think what the stuff that people like Gunpie do, I guess in a sordid way you can kind of respect their commitment to the bit, but for fuck's sake, it's not hard to pretend you're like a single virgin woman on the internet. I could fucking do it. Give me a voice changer and I could probably be like one of the greatest girlfriend experience streamers in VTubing. Men are really easy, as Matter once said. Just be nice to them. And just talk about how you're a virgin. And just talk about how you're a virgin and be nice to men, and there you go. Rake in the thousands of dollars. Fucking, why is this just like avoid men at any cost? Why is this so difficult? I've managed to, guys, I've been a content creator now for 1 year and 7 months, right? And you guys know me, you know how terrible I am with technology, how scuffed I am, and how much I don't give a fuck. I've managed to stream for 1 year and 7 months and not release my secret Discord messages, right? I've managed to avoid having the secret Discord group chat up on stream for you to read and for me to get cancelled, for me to avoid me getting arrested by the British government. So why the fuck can't these so-called professional girlfriend experience streamers just keep that shit off stream for like 4 years until they make enough money to like buy a house or some stupid shit? I don't know. But again, I guess you have to be that kind of way inclined, I think, to kind of want to do girlfriend experience in the first place. I think you have to be a bit fucking stupid to think that's a good idea. I don't know. Even the Tate brothers could do GFE. Yeah, they probably could, you know. Maulington loves Lumi so much he wants to become her. I don't want to become Lumi. What the fuck? I mean, I wouldn't mind being as popular and being as, like Lee. I don't want to be Lumi, though. Their fathers failed to teach them about OPSEC. Yeah, that's very true. Today could be the day. Leaking the group chat would be great content. It would be great content. The thing is, I use a lot of bad language on the stream, right? So I'm not afraid of like saying fag or making like really like risque you know, TOS jokes about like religion or race and stuff, I hold my hands up, right? I'll be completely open. I'm very open about the fact I'm a ex-Bergie Southwark Awful Forums and EVE Online goon, so I've like said and done some, as well, said some heinous shit in my lifetime. But the problem is, I've told you this story before, is that my private Discord group contains a brown-skinned Sunni Muslim from Morocco and a Polish American Jewish guy, his Catholic wife, and then there's like me, like a white Englishman. And the shit the Moroccan guy says about Algerians, right? I can't show it on stream because he literally, the first thing he says every time he comes on Discord is he's literally singing it. He's singing the no words. It's like, we'll just be talking about like World of Warcraft, and then in comes a Moroccan, and for no reason at all, he's singing the N-word like he's fucking, I don't know, like he's having a time of his life. And it's like, why? I say to him, I'm like, why? Why do you do this? What's the point? We fucking stop doing it. Based Berber racism, yeah, exactly, right? It's like, fucking stop. This is the thing. People always say white people are so racist, and it's like, you've never spoken to like an Asian or like a North African or like a Berber if you think white people are the most racist people on this planet. Fucking hell. The same thing with like Mexicans, right? The most progressive Mexican would be in the SS, in my experience. Least diverse racist. Well, this is the thing, right? The biggest racists, like the most like loving and tolerant groups, tend to be like a makeup, a very diverse makeup of people. Because the thing about racists is that racists don't care what color your skin is or where you're from or what language you speak. All they care about is if you're a racist or not, basically, right? That guy who had Chopper Hardar was an Indian guy with a MAGA hat. Yeah, that's crazy. That's something I don't get personally. I don't get why so many Mexicans and Indians are like really into white supremacy. It's like there's so many Twitter accounts that just post like white supremacy shit all the time, and then I see people in the comment section just saying, "Oh, this person's a Mexican," and it's like, huh? What? Why is some Mexican saying all this stuff? You dropped your Burger King. Oh my god, that Burger King clip is so fucking funny, man. That guy's face is amazing. His face is incredible. It's not him screaming the word that's so funny. It's just his face, that smile on his face as he's doing it. I want to know what that man's smoking. England, half of your vocabulary is a C word. I'm glad you recognise that cunt is an English thing, Darren. People seem to think that it's an Australian thing. I know Australians use that word a lot. And we pretend these days, we tend to prefer saying twat as opposed to cunt. But yeah, cunt is like, it's an English thing. It's just that the Australians, like much of the Commonwealth, just tend to adopt some of our language, and then there's like varying levels of, I guess, how much they build that up. But what do you guys, I guess to kind of bring it back, I guess, to GFE stuff, what do you guys think about girlfriend experience streamers who are upfront and don't pretend, who don't hide the fact that they're currently like married or like in a relationship with a person? I think that's an interesting one, because again, one thing I'd like to bring into, I guess, contention with that is, what does you appreciate the honesty? Yeah, I mean, you have to at least appreciate the honesty. But then how would you guys feel if your girlfriend or wife or whatever started like doing girlfriend experience, you know, content with strangers on the internet? Would that be a deal breaker for you? Would you break up with a girl who was doing GFE with strangers on the internet? Personally, I don't think I'd be personally, that would be a deal breaker for me. I'd definitely break up with a woman who was like, even if we had a discussion about it and she was like, I don't like mean any of this shit, I'm just, you know, I'm just making content and getting money out of it. And I'd be like, well, yeah, I see where you're coming from, but at the same time, it's like, if you think about your thought process here, your rationale is that you want to make money on the internet by pretending to be, by basically flirting with other men. I don't know really. I'd immediately lose like all trust and confidence in a woman whose like first thoughts about internet content creation is to flirt with strange men on the internet for money, right? I mean, I don't want to go so far as to say it's prostitution or whoring, but I don't know. It's getting quite close to the definition of that, in my opinion. But I don't know. Maybe I'm being unfairly conservative and backwards in my outlook. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's a great shondo about men who are cucked. I think they should beat their wives. Fucking, oh my god, I love shondo. Unfortunately, I can't watch like a full stream of shondo. Like shondo in its entirety of a stream isn't quite my thing, but like those, like the clippable moments of shondo are so, like the shit shondo says sometimes is so funny, right? It's like when people say, like when people raise an eyebrow when I say I'm not a particularly big fan of Pippa, it's because the things I like most about Pippa is basically when Pippa's like going on like a mischievous rant, or she's like, you know, she's going on a rant about something, or she's shit posting, or she's trolling, or she's acting crazy. So if Pippa did a lot more of that, then definitely I'd like her more than I do. But currently, like when it comes to schizo weird VTubers or like chaotic VTubers, I get my fix of that from shondo personally. Yeah, like my womb is eternal. Hang on a minute. My favorite one is where she's playing. Hang on, let me get it up on stream. See if I can find it. I show this clip quite a lot actually because I love it so much. But it's such a relatable moment. Is this the one? No, it's not. Oh my god. Hang on. It's the one where she's playing, I think it's Dead by Daylight. And she's like screaming, "I hate women." She like and she tries to like kill one of the characters and she misses, and she starts screeching like a banshee from hell about how she hates women. So funny. And no, I can't find that. I can't find the short of the clip sadly, so no, I won't get it up. Oh, let me get the music back on. I love that little kind of, yeah, poor shondo as well. Have you guys been, I imagine most of you guys have been following the news. It's quite a horrible, I was quite disturbed to read the news about Shondo's poor mother, bless her. That was quite a real thing to read. Yeah, it's God, poor Shondo, right? To like just wake up one day and find out your mother's, you know, committed suicide is, God, what a fucking shocking experience for the poor lady. I think that's again, like what's really fucking disgusting about, you know, social media and Twitter is that after Shondo came out and, you know, just announced to people that, well, she didn't say at first what the cause was, but she just said that her mother had just passed away. And immediately you had people in the chat, like lolly haters and just general Shondo antis, basically say that it was deserved and that they're glad that it happened. And it's like, what kind of sick fuck, you know, like says that to someone whose mother has just died? Like, it's fucking, this is the reason why I like shitpost and meme so much, is because if I don't, I'll go fucking mental with some of the dickheads on the internet these days. Love the two Pippas, Maulington. Yeah, it's a shame really. I didn't really watch that much of Pippa's Pebblesworth. I did follow her. I think I raided her once before as well. But the problem is I'm a bit oversubscribed on cute VTubers at the moment. Twitch is a major filter for me. I'm glad you say that, Sponge Buddy. Yeah, I used to prefer Twitch to YouTube, but since doing content creation myself now, I can't stand Twitch anymore. YouTube is so much more. The thing that bothers me about Twitch as well is all the fucking like ADHD buttons and like bits and shit that constantly plasters the fucking screen, and like the little text things that streamers enable as well. It's like I fucking love the course, right? But Kersh's stream sometimes looks like a fucking like betting, what do you call them? You know, it looks like a casino basically when you walk into a Kersh stream sometimes. It's like, look, I'm here to listen to Kersh talk about the bridge and the diversity stuff. And every time she's trying to make a point and like talk for more than 2 seconds, there's bits like plastering the fucking screen like it's a fucking like rocket barrage from Hamas. And then whilst the screen is like full of shit constantly, there's like 10 dickheads sending her money, like donations, to try and tell some kind of shit joke or to like educate Kershaw on something that she mentioned fucking 30 minutes ago, or to try and have a conversation with Kershaw about a topic that she dropped an hour ago. So Kershaw's trying to talk about bridge stuff, and her chat and her stream's just going, "Hello, Kershaw. I like you very much, Kershaw. You are a funny fox, woman. Well, by the way, show me your feet pics, Kershaw. Yeah, Kershaw. I love you, Kershaw. Please pay attention to me, Kershaw." It's like, Kershaw, please. Kershaw, please turn this shit off. It's unbearable. But Kershaw, please stop. Yeah, but I mean, the thing is though, is that these alerts probably generate so much fucking money, right? That's the thing. So, I mean, why not if you've got it? Twitter has the worst people, Reddit. Yeah, I don't know. I think Reddit is worse than Twitter these days, which is incredible in itself. Yeah. The antis are just plain evil. Remember when they were going after? I do, actually. I'm bringing that up I'm bringing up the Hogwarts Legacy stuff in part 2. That will be part 2 of the Phase Connect documentary. It's really hard to, I guess, try to give like a neutral kind of professional documentarian take on the Hogwarts Legacy stuff. You can't really report on that stuff, quote unquote, objectively, taking a look at it from the perspective of both sides. There's only one side to take, I think, in the Hogwarts Legacy spectacle that happened in VTubing, which is basically the people who were going after like Pippa, Tenma, Picami, Silverveil, etc., are subhuman filth, and anybody who has any sympathy for the subhuman filth are probably some kind of scum themselves, basically. There is no reasonable way anyone can defend the antis during the Hogwarts Legacy phase whatsoever. Like complete pathetic losers, quite frankly. So there's this new development in the department of slaves built the pyramids, slaves built the pantheon, slaves built American slaves. This is your song, thank you, slaves. Yeah. Close your tab. Speaking of tabs, actually, I'm a bit bad myself. I've got about over 200 tabs currently open on my Firefox myself, but it's like all like Phase Connect VODs and like clips for the sake of like researching and shit. I miss Picami as well. I know I like Henya, right? Like I think like Henya's basically, you know, Picami's just refined her. I think like Henya currently content wise is better than she was as Picami, right? Naturally, as the years have gone by, she's improved, you know, just her ability to be an entertainer. But I really enjoyed Picami's model. There's something awesome about that style. I really liked her kaiju outfit as well. Like Picami in the kaiju outfit was so fucking peak. I miss that shit. Like her old model, like the Picami model just fit her personality and her voice so much. It like really added, I think, to the experience. And that's something that's something that's really difficult, I think, to find these days, is that I think a lot of VTubers, even both past and present VTubers these days, are so focused on trying to create, I think, the most physically, like the most physically pleasing, you know, like sexual, high fidelity models possible, which is fine. I mean, that's fine. That is good. It's good. It's nice to see like a very pretty model with a lot of fidelity, but I'd like to see more VTubers kind of do a thing where they have a model that kind of like complements their personality and content in a way that enhances the performance. So you take a look at Pippa, for example, right? So I think even without her current model, Pippa would still be like a very big, you know, influential VTuber. But I do think a massive like chunk of the entertainment value from Pippa does come from that juxtaposition of like how fucking cute her VTuber model is, as opposed to how like fucking weird and chaotic and schizo and like fucking mental she behaves sometimes, right? It's like, as I mentioned to you guys before, I'm, well, as you probably know, I'm an affiliate with a VTuber card game called Oshi Push. And some of my fellow affiliates all the affiliates in the Oshi Push for the Oshi Push project are all VTubers, and they're currently doing a collaboration with Phase Connect, right? And some of my fellow affiliates are FaZe Connect fans, but the vast majority of them don't have a clue who FaZe Connect is. They just joined in the project, right, for basically for the money and to be part of, like, you know, like a VTuber project. Why not? And it's funny because since we're basically currently shilling FaZe Connect themed cards, and like the two biggest talents in FaZe Connect being pushed as part of this game are obviously Pippa and Tenma. So so these people who have no idea what FaZe Connect is or what it's about see all this Pippa art, and they see all the Pippa cards and like the Pippa gifts and shit, and they're looking at Pippa's model and fucking God bless them. There's this one guy. This one guy says, he goes, "Oh, I really like this Pippin VTuber woman. She looks so she looks so cute and adorable. I bet she's like really say-so and cozy." And I just look at him and I'm like, yeah, this Pippin woman, she's a cute little ball of fluff, all right. Yeah, she's completely harmless. Yeah, yeah, definitely go watch her. Yeah, she's so sweet and cute and friendly. Yeah, absolutely. She did have a cute voice on day one. You're right, Dragon Lord. You know, I guess fucking hell, I always bring it back to FaZe Connect again. But to go on a tangent about FaZe Connect for a second. So as part of part one of the FaZe Connect documentary, part of the reason why it's taken so long is because I've gone through so many like VODs of like that first 4 to 5 month period of FaZe Connect's, like, you know, the very early work of the talents. And you know what's really crazy is genuinely looking at how far like Pippa has come from her early days. So I was watching a lot of really early Pippa collabs back during that like first 2-3 month period. And I shit you guys not, right? This is no exaggeration. So Pippa will be doing like a 2.5 hour long collab or something with like Aruka or Leah. And in that 2.5 long collab, she won't say a fucking word, not one single word to anyone for over an hour, because obviously that was that point in her career where she was still like very, very shy and, you know, a little bit mentally unwell. And it's just crazy to see this super shy Pippa talking in that really, you know, silly, cute voice, not saying anything to anyone because she's so scared for like an hour straight. She sat there in silence. And then when there's like 5 people in a chat, and when the 5 people in her chat like finally say something to her, she just repeats back to them what they said, and then that like has a nervous laugh. And it's absolutely surreal, right, to go from that to see what she's like today. Because these days I would argue that one of Pippa's greatest strengths now is her ability to like communicate and collab with complete strangers and to keep a conversation going. It's absolutely like fucking mental to see that development. And it didn't even take 4 years for that to happen. I think by about 2023 she was like that as well. But just seeing that massive evolution in, you know, how someone develops personally and professionally is really quite captivating. Actually, it's really interesting to see that. It's the same thing, but it's kind of the same thing with Tenma. It's crazy to watch Tenma go from barely being able to speak English, like from 4 years ago, to these days now Tenma can slightly speak English, right? Yeah, that's a good point actually, Dragon. Yeah, she can be a bit quiet to start off with, but then yeah, as you get going, you start to she starts to pick up a bit. But this is the thing with any collab. The thing is, again, having you know, collabed with many people myself now, it's kind of like it is really difficult in VTubing to find someone who you do really like mesh with on a you know, a personal level. Because we're all from different countries, we all have different senses of humor, and we all have like, you know, different images we want to portray, and we all have different boundaries, right? So it's like, I'm the kind of person where as long as you make it obvious that you're joking, you know, and that you're screwing around, from like within like 3 days of meeting me, you can call me like the worst slurs and like really like fucking roast me, and I'll be completely like, I'll be happy with that, right? Like you can say the most degen shit, like outrageous shit to me, and I'll laugh and I'll go along with it and I'll do it back to you. I have no problems. So it's like, yeah, unfortunately the problem always is when you're doing a collab with someone, is it's like, Christ, like how do I go about this like without potentially offending them? And you know, it's like sometimes you try to get a certain reaction out of someone, you maybe try to like lead the way the kind of atmosphere is, and they don't follow it. They keep they do something else entirely, so it becomes difficult then to keep going, because it's like, if you're trying to, I don't know, be like, if you're trying to like be jokingly homoerotic with someone, for example, and they just won't do it back, and it's like, ah shit, like what do I do next? Like how else do I try to, you know, make this fun and entertaining for people? How do I try to loosen things up between us? It's always difficult to do that in my experience. But yeah, so I mean, it's a different thing, right? The thing is about her collab with Henya is that it's like, yeah, it's obviously a VTuber she really looked up to massively. It's Henya, I can't remember. Is Henya one of her Oshis, or does people just really look up to Pikami? I'm not sure which it is. I know Pippa's, technically Pippa's Kamioshi, even if she doesn't say it, I think is Watame, right? But I don't know if Henya is like one of her like lesser Oshis, I guess. Tenma started as grandma, started sounding like a psychopath. Yeah, it's like Tenma was a bit all over the place to begin with. She'd alternate between sounding like a 40-year-old woman trying to sound really cute, and then sometimes she would sound like the fucking like takeaway woman from, oh, what's it called? Dude, Where's My Car? You know, this thing. Like, like this is old Tenma. This is what old Tenma sounds like.
Gosh, I think that's about it.
And then?
Rice.
And then?
And the soup, dude. Oh, and you could.
And then?
I refuse to play your Chinese food mind games. No!
And then that's old Tenma in a nutshell. I fucking love Tenma. Obviously, I've made a fucking 1.5 hour like fucking like what would you call it, like dissertation on why I think Tenma's a comedic genius. Like every single potential VTuber fan has to watch Tenma. Like Tenma is a must watch for anyone who gets into VTubing, in my opinion. I get really fucking mad, but I'm exaggerating. I don't actually get mad at all. I don't care. But I do get very low-key kind of annoyed when Tenma isn't even in the running for like the funniest VTuber in the VTuber, you know, award ceremony thing. Because obviously in my own subjective experience, Tenma is the funniest VTuber in the world. It's not even a contest, personally. Like Tenma's so fucking funny, and she's not just funny in like a stupid, you know, brain rot kind of way like many VTubers are, right? Tenma's not funny because she makes like loud noises and does the memes, right? And does like the L chat, W chat, and all that shit. Although funny enough, I do quite like Queso, but like Tenma's funny in like a kind of intellectual way. She's got great comedic timing. She's very creative with the way she delivers comedy as well. She always gets like those amazing little cute little outfits ready to fit the theme of like whatever she is that she's streaming, and she never lets like an opportunity to work off of chat go to waste. So like when she was doing her Wukong streams and she had a little fucking monkey outfit, like her little 3D chibi monkey outfit attached to a tree, and then a chat person goes like, Tenma, I've like got your banana, and she goes, no, it's my banana. It's like Tenma never lets a good opportunity go to waste. I wish I was as 10th as like comedically intelligent as Tenma has. She's very smart. She's a very smart lady. Very smart, Tenma. Dude, where's my VTuber? Oh yeah, it's always, you can always tell like who's a millennial. You just like put Dude, Where's My Car on. It's like, what's like the peak millennial movies that like out someone as a millennial? I think it's Dude, Where's My Car and The Big Lebowski are like two movies that are like millennial bait, right? You put, and like and like I guess like any like 90s Nicolas Cage movie as well. Like millennials are spoiled for so many good movies back in the day. She's very witty, she is. She's very witty, very creative. I don't know how Tenma like finds the time and energy to put all that effort into the shit she does as well, given that she works a full-time job. It's mental. You still have the AI version saved on your phone? God damn. Watching Tenma and Loki reviewing all the campaign Nickies and the workout gains is so cool. I can't imagine too many VTubers doing something like that. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the great thing about one of the things that Face Connect has been able to do over the years, is like build that lore and kind of build that environment where even if it's not necessarily real, they can at least trick people into thinking that their talents genuinely are unleashed, and need like a close eye and need to be like tugged from time to time by the fish man. Because, you know, during the first muscle off Tenma did with Lumi, obviously, you know, one of the big memes around that one was Fishman basically saying that Fishman saying, Tenma, under no circumstances can you contact any of the fans who send you these pictures for legal reasons, right? And that's just peak cinema. That's so funny. Like the fucking dynamics between the Fishman and the face talents is so funny. Yeah, she streams on her legs in the cast. It's mental, right? I'm definitely, oh yeah, I guess so. I mean, millennials and older, basically. Like millennials, like young Gen Xers. I wonder what like the Gen Xers like peak. I guess it's probably Top Gun, right? I think Top Gun is more of a like Gen X's, I guess, like flagship movie. Hey, Zero, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, like yell at fish. Yeah, exactly, the old fish man dynamic as well. Yeah, Sakana's talent Twitter spats in the talents are so funny to me. They are. I really like the stuff with Mint that goes on from time to time. Sponge Buddy, did you see the one? Did you see the one where recently where people had been like reposting Mint's graduation before she went to Nijisanji, and then Sakana like Mint? No, I think it was Tenma posted like a DM between like fucking like a chat between Mint and Sakana, where Sakana's like in all caps going to Mint and he's saying, "Are you graduating?" And she's like, "No, I'm not graduating." Yeah, it's so good. It was Sakana, was it? It was Sakana. Okay, yeah, that was really good. I love stuff like that. Again, this is the thing about Face Connect, is that actually, arguably, Face Connect is more entertaining off stream than it is on stream. Funny enough, like the shit that they say on Twitter, as though, you know, like you had that moment from like, what was it, a year ago now or something, where Aruka and Leah were being like super gay more than normal publicly on Twitter, and then Aruka like posted DM that she gets from Sakana, and Sakana sent her like a serious DM saying, "Can you guys stop like saying this lesbian shit in public? It's making people uncomfortable." Great, I love it. Oh dear. Yeah, Fishman is boss experience content. Yeah, that's why I'm never deleting my account, at least until FaceTime. That's the reason why I haven't gone off Twitter either. Yeah, can you stop being gay? And then Aruka comes back and says, in Face Connect, you're not allowed to be gay, but you could be racist. I fucking love Aruka. Aruka can come up with some poppers from time to time as well. How many VTuber companies have their talents bitching about the lack of a bathroom in their warehouse? Yeah. How many VTuber companies get their fucking talents to start being warehouse monkeys as well? Oh dear. Aruka's never beaten the allegations. Yeah, the beaver. Yeah. Oh dear. Hey, Eleanor, how are you? I'm good, thank you. How are you? Good to see you. Let's see. Okay, let's try to bring it back on topic a little bit, maybe. Again, I'm trying to think more shit to talk about for girlfriend experience tubes. Let me think. Hey, Gatside, how you doing, buddy? I think your name's changed. Bloody hell. What does the EVT mean in your name now, Gatside? I know, but even we always have to stay aware. Nothing's eternal, even more so in this space. Aruka is great, you know. You watch our other streams more, and there's a trove of treasures. Yeah, I do. I think, I think Aruka is like one of the most like underrated, like underestimated talents in Face Connect. You know, it's great to see that she got such a big push when HoloLive had that violin VTuber come in, because then that really boosted Aruka's algorithm. And then it's like, yeah, once Aruka got like pushed into more people's faces, like more people realized, they were like, hey, this Blue Bear's really fucking good. And it's like, yeah, that's what I've been saying all this time, guys. Like, Face Connect isn't the Pipkin, Pippa and Tenma show. There's so many great VTubers in Phase. You know, you got Sheena and Aruka as well. Like, so many of them. Like, watch the other ones. Oh, the Aruka ASMR was so funny, right? A big part of the reason why I like Aruka is actually I find it quite like relatable as well. I find Aruka's another VTuber I find a lot like me. So when she was breaking down and laughed, like breaking down and like shit posting with her ASMR, I was like, yeah, this is exactly how I treat ASMR as well. It'd just be one big joke to me. Oh wow, 1,500 people turned in to watch Dizzy open the Pokemon cards. I haven't seen that stream yet. I saw a clip of it on Twitter from Jiggerpoint. I need to watch the actual stream there. For some reason, I do like watching unboxing videos. There's just something about the male condition where, you know what, it's probably because we enjoy playing like RPGs and like MMOs and shit, right? It's like, when you watch someone unbox Pokemon cards or Digimon cards, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like looting a boss, right? I think that's probably what it is. Can we get like 10 girl cards against humanities of the phase girls? That'd be really fun, you know? Yeah, I know Lumi, Filian, and Pippa, and I can't remember who else did a Cards Against Humanity stream. But I guess I think one of my like major criticisms, I guess, towards Phase Connect as a company is that I think their like group projects and like some of the mega collabs they have are a bit underwhelming and uninspiring. They should, instead of like trying to focus so much on making like original VTubery like skit stuff, I think they should, it's not that they can't do it, but I think they should do more stuff that really, I guess, like highlights where their major strengths are. You know, stuff like a mega collab of Cards Against Humanity between the Phase Connect VTubers I think would be really good. You know, more Mahjong is great, actually. I do really enjoy like the Mahjong collabs. I'm hoping, actually, I'm kind of, oh yeah, fucking hell, the Liar's Bar stuff was great as well. Like stuff like, oh, what was it called? Lethal Company was great as well. Fucking, when I love Mishru so much, like the Michi in the last year and a bit has become like one of my favorite VTubers of all time. I just love how Mishru just can't help herself but to like aggressively troll people during like the group collabs. When she did that giant Lethal Company collab and then put the fucking bees in the entrance to the ship and like killed half the fucking Phase Connect girls, that was so funny as well. It was great. She's such a troll. I love Mishru. And it's funny, it's like as she went to go grab that beehive, NASA was there as well, and Mishru like saw NASA trying to like go grab up that beehive, and fucking Mishru was so determined to troll people with that beehive. When NASA went for it, Mishru started speaking perfectly fluent English, and she was like shouting at a volume and level of excitement I've never seen her like speak before or since, right? She was like, no, she was like, no. She was like, no, mine, that's my beehive. It's mine, give me. And it's like, fucking hell, where did this come from? Like, don't get between Mishru and trolling people. Fucking hell. She was like, no, NASA, stay away, that's mine. Red Dragon Inn. Oh, I've heard Red Dragon Inn mentioned before. You know, people have been recommending. I play that on Tabletop Simulator. Yeah. I'm hoping. One thing I actually want to get kind of sorted out relatively soon is get like a tournament for the Oshi Push game between the major Phase Connect clippers. I kind of want to get like I want to kind of get like a tournament going where each clipper represents their Oshi, right? So you get people like Necro will be playing like a Leer deck on Oshi Push. We'll get someone like Fayola or maybe Low Effort Clips. I guess like Zincro would probably be more suited to Rie maybe. But I don't know, we could also get Low Effort Clips to like represent a Pippa deck. Get Not Theo to play like a Tenma deck. And then yeah, we have like an Oshi Push card tournament and we'll see like who wins and see which and maybe if I got like a lot of interest, then maybe we could put it into teams, right? So we'll have like multiple clippers representing the Oshi. So we'll have like Team Tenma and like Team Pippa and Team Yuri, etc. And you'll have like 3 guys, maybe like 3 clippers per team, and we'll see who wins. We'll see who comes in first place, but then we'll also see like which Phase Talents team like wins the tournament as well. I think that might be a fun idea. Yeah, people like Hag Enthusiast as well. Yeah, so basically what I'm trying to do at the moment is I'm reaching out to the Phase Connect clippers and I'm trying to like teach them all oh, take care, Hagfish, take care, buddy. I'm trying to like teach them how to play the game, and then I'm trying to get the Tabletop Simulator mod with all the cards and all the decks so that we can get this tournament going. And I'm kind of hoping as well, this is really ambitious, but kind of my line of thought is if we get this clipper tournament going and it brings in a big spectacle, then maybe even like Phase Connect itself might start having like an annual like in-house Oshi Push kind of tournament thing. That might be fun, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get that done at some point. See if I can do that. Top Clipper, the tournament. Yeah, basically, yeah. I think it'd be fun as well because obviously we'd be streaming it, so it'd also probably be like the streaming debuts of many Phase Connect clippers as well, which I think might be fun. ESL clips scare me, yeah. I forget about ESL clips, honestly. Unfortunately, the YouTube algorithm doesn't really push his stuff too much. I am subscribed to him though. Yeah, I do like ESL clips. I think, let's see. Oh, I don't know. RVE is an extremely talented clipper as well. I really like RVE's clips. I think probably RVE is probably like my favorite clipper. But there's a lot of like really fucking like clever and funny clippers out there though in the Phase Connect community. I really like Not Theo's work as well. I think for me it's a very close battle between Not Theo and RVE for me for my favorite clipper. I've run out of water, bugger. I tried drinking water instead of Coke on stream. It helps slightly with my throat. Oh shit, yeah, Fireline. Fireline took a break for a while, but yeah. Fireline's hilarious as well. Fireline's a great V-tweeter. Fireline's very funny on Twitter. How many, it's like how many fucking Panko clippers are there these days? Like who's Panko's main clipper? You've got Komerchis and Fireline are like Panko's big two clippers. Does Panko have any other clippers, or was it just those two? Yeah, I mean, people like Vito, Animal Friends, Yuki at Historical Channel, like Hobosaki clips as well, guys like that do God's work in terms of translating and like clipping the Japanese Phase Connect talents, which is much appreciated. Yeah, it's like I watch Mitru streams, and the great thing about watching Mitru is that she doesn't seem to have the auto translator on anymore. But you don't even really need, with Mitru, you don't even really need a translator to understand what's going on. With like Mitru, you can kind of guess what's going on from how people are like talking and behaving in the streams. Like I've been watching all her GTA 5 roleplay streams, and I'm pretty sure at one point she was like buying a used car from like a car salesman on the GTA 5 roleplaying server. It's just funny to watch her like. It's just funny to watch her go for a test drive with some random Japanese guy on a GTA 5 roleplayer server. It was great. Tachi has been on a tear recently as well. Good old Tachi. Fucking butter cookie in chief Tachi. The GOAT. I think does Memore's clips still upload content? I know when I made my Sheena video over a year and a half ago or so now, it was like Memore's clips and Tachi. Was it Tachi as well? No, I think it was just Memore's clips back then, actually. Yeah, I think Memore's clips was like the big Sheena clipper back then. I think he stopped doing it now, and then kind of Tachi has kind of like stepped in as like the big one. Ah, yeah, Takinoko clips actually has a lot of Panko clips, doesn't he? Yeah. Oh, does Nyanta do it as well? I've not actually seen. I'm subscribed to Nyanta, but again, my algorithm doesn't give me much Nyanta stuff. I need to go out of my way to like remember to Google Nyanta to see what their stuff's up to. DHK clips is pretty good. Yeah, I've only ever watched like clips of Erina before for the most part, like the last 2-3 years. I started like watching Erina in earnest for the first time a couple weeks ago because I was looking essentially for like reference material for the Oshi Push game, so that if they do have like a Generation 2 card reveal, then I can find some like good Erina references to put into the game. And yeah, like DHA clips and a clipper that begins with red, I think, begins with an R. I like Erina's big two. But yeah, I immediately took a huge liking to Erina, right? Because again, Erina's like another VTuber who I'm like, oh, she's literally me for real. I'm not quite sexy like Erina is, but Erina's such a fucking dork, and she's really funny. I love Erina. Erina's great. Yeah, Erina's great. I do like Erina. She's becoming again another VTuber I like quite a lot. I just don't have enough fucking time to watch all these goddamn VTubers, man. There's too many of them. Phase Connect is really stacked. you could just watch like Phase Connect VTubers and like no one else, and that would be, you know, that'd be it really. That's all you really need. Like Rooney's anime opinions piss me the fuck off. God, when Rooney talks about One Piece, oh my god, it's just I hate One Piece so much. The only good thing about One Piece is the rap from the English like first English opening of One Piece rap. That's the only thing. That's the only good thing about One Piece. Are you calling me a normie or are you calling Rooney a normie? Because if you're calling me a normie, I will address that next Friday when I yap about anime instead of VTubing next week. And then the week after that, I'm going to talk about more VTubing stuff. Rooney has that white woman colonizerism me there. Yeah, she is a southern gal. Well, I'm a southern gal, and well, I don't know how you do things there in the big city, but we do things a little bit differently down here in the south. Down here in the south, we do things a little bit differently than you do up there in the big city. One Piece is normally cool. I'm glad you guys think One Piece is normally cool. I think it is Naruto and Bleach normally cool as well. I don't know. What about One Piece and Bleach? Are they normally cool? Again, this is I fully recognize this is outrageous, by the way. But I stopped liking Bleach after the Soul Society arc. I think Bleach went to complete shit after the Soul Society arc. Once they rescued Rukia, I was like, wait, is her name? No, Rukia. Rukia, yeah. After they rescued Rukia, I was like, okay, Bleach is shit now, and let's stop watching it. And I was a Naruto tard during the early 2000s. That common take? Okay. Yeah, I tend to have very common takes, honestly. I'm not particularly cultured. But I'm really tempted now to start going on a tangent about anime, but I've promised that stream for next Friday, so I don't want to ruin next Friday's stream now. But I'm really tempted not to do the Naruto run. Oh, you know what? Actually, Nova Crusader. No, I never did the Naruto run, but I remember that I remember this so well. Like 7 or 8 years ago, when I went to the gym and I was in the car park, and as I was about to go into the gym, I like look across the car park, and there's this woman with like her 2 sons, and her 2 sons start fucking Naruto running in public, and I hear one of them say to the other one, wow, you really do run faster when you start Naruto running. And I was like, I smiled at first, I was like, hey, these kids are growing up and watching anime, that's awesome. But then at the same time I was like, oh my god, these kids are Naruto running in public, fucking cringe, stop doing that. Do you guys remember when Naruto, by the way, was about fucking ninjas and like it wasn't about magic? Do you guys remember when Naruto wasn't basically a Final Fantasy anime and it was actually about ninjas, and they couldn't make up their fucking mind about how technologically advanced like the world of Naruto was at the time, because they were still communicating to each other with like scrolls and like frogs that they could summon. But then, like, randomly, you'd see in episodes, Kakashi, like, had fucking headphones on with, like, a microphone. And he was, like, talking to them through some kind of radio, I assume. It's like, what the fuck? Like, how are you guys still, like, fannying around, like, throwing kunais at each other and communicating with scrolls? But Kakashi's got, like, a fucking radio and a headset. What the fuck? I guess that's probably why they eventually tried to drop that shit. And go, like, the other way. Because that didn't make any fucking sense. I miss watching Naruto as a kid, yeah. Which is the best Naruto opening in your opinion? There's so many good, like, original, like, season, what's the word? Yeah, like, pre-Shippuden openings in Naruto. So many good ones. Naruto went from ninjas to battle mages throwing meteors at each other, yeah. Right? It's like, if I was the Shogun, I'd have all the ninjas put to the fucking sword, because it's like, I've got these, like, mentally unstable dickheads who keep, like, wanting to destroy the world and, like, kill each other. And you got this one cunt can, like, summon this, like, giant fox thing that can, like, level entire continents. It's like, yeah, I think we should stop this whole ninja thing. I think it's because they weren't meant to be relatable to kids, so they want a similar tech to what kids have. Okay. Naruto does have a great OST. It does. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, Dragon Lords. Yeah. It had good... Oh my god. I can tell there's a lot of people in there, like, probably, like, at least early 30s, here in the chat. So here, let me give you guys a bit of a nostalgia blast. Right, okay, let me set the scene. Okay, guys, for those of you who are old enough to know this, right, the 20-year-olds in the chat, like people like Felix, who's like 12 years old, won't understand this reference, right? So guys, allow me to take you back to the past. It's 2003. It's 2003. You're on, I mean, I personally wasn't, but you're probably on Datei.io subs, or you're on like animeboy.com, and you're downloading anime episodes at 144p, or if you're really fancy, if you have really good internet, then you're downloading anime videos at 240p, okay? It's 2013, you're 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old, whatever. And then you hear this, okay? You wait a day and a half for your 50 kilobyte a second internet to finish downloading the anime video. Or you go, actually no, this was before the YouTube videos. This was before you had the Naruto Segundo, but this was back before you had like the fucking Spanish dubbed, like the Spanish subbed episodes of Naruto on fucking YouTube. It's like Naruto el Segundo, Parto 1, and Naruto Episodio 45, Segundo, Part 1, 2, 3, 2. And then you had like the fucking episodes of Naruto in Spanish on YouTube before then, but it's 2003. You're in your early teens. You're goon into your fucking Sakura or like your fucking Hinata hentai or whatever the fuck. And then after you wait a day and a half for your video to download, you hear this. Oops, sorry, that's probably really loud. My apologies. Come on! Woo, woo, woo. LimeWire, yeah. Oh god, I forgot about LimeWire, yeah. The world again. Hopefully I won't get copyright struck for showing this. Hang on. Let's see, we're gonna risk it. Hang on. Fuck. Hey, there we go. Okay, now I need to hide myself. All the way! I'm sorry you had to listen to that. I wanna rocks. Ooh, only rocks. Peak back in the day. The kids today, man, they don't understand. They don't know what they're missing. And also you had Bleach as well, right? The 1997 Bleach anime with the put your glasses on, nothing will go wrong. Tell me why, tell me why, tell me what you want. Great shit, man. Back when Crunchyroll was a pirate site, yeah. I mean, fucking Crunchyroll as well, like stole their fan subs from like another website. So Crunchyroll has always been like a piece of shit company. I never did use Datei.io subs or Crunchyroll to fucking. Actually, I can't remember now. Was it Datei.io subs was originally Crunchyroll, or was Crunchyroll always Crunchyroll, and they stole their? I forget the fucking law now. But the law of old Crunchyroll is Crunchyroll used to be like the site where you got your Naruto like rips from, and then the copyright holders went after them, and then I think they like had some kind of deal, right, where they became a legitimate like broadcaster of Naruto. In exchange for them becoming like a legit business and getting a cut of it or something, right? And now Crunchyroll is basically like a woke leftist nonsense, like normie, shithole, piece of shit, dickhead, bastard, twat, cunt, fuckers, basically. You know, has the we comparing waifus. I was always more partial to Hinata. I have a soft spot for the girly, shy, cute girls. I like, weirdly, again, despite the fact all my real life girlfriends are all like shamelessly yapping, loud, blonde women, I have a soft spot for like shy, cute girls who are quiet. Yar, har, fiddly dee, being a pirate is no need to bring politics today. Gotta sail the high seas. Arr, you gotta sail the high seas when you have a shit company like Crunchyroll. Yar. True. Well, as Gabe Newell once said, piracy is a service issue. I mean, kind of, but kind of not, right? If I can get something free, if I can get shit for free, and it's of decent quality, well, I guess that's what he means by a service problem. But I mean, it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna. If I don't have to pay for something, I'm not going to. Right? It's like, it's why these fucking laws, right, in California where you can walk out of a shop with $1,000 worth of stuff without going to prison is dumb. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna go into a hardware. I'm just gonna go to a electronics store and just yoink myself a PlayStation 5 if I don't have to pay for it. Why not? Fucking stupid. Anyway, Gabe and long may he reign. Guys, do you think Half-Life 3 is coming, by the way? There's movement around Half-Life 3 again, and it's crazy. I can't believe they might actually be making Half-Life 3 in my lifetime, or maybe Episode 3 Half-Life 3. What do you mean? What are you laughing at? I've moved on to like 5 topics in 2 seconds there. I don't know what you're laughing at now. I stopped caring about Half-Life a long time ago. Yeah, I gave up hope on Half-Life a long time ago as well. But it might be coming back. It might be coming back. We'll see. Project White Sands. It must be coming in... Imagine, oh God, imagine if they released Left 4 Dead 3 before Half-Life 3. Fuck it out. Wouldn't that be crazy? And that's crazy as well, right? They released Left 4 Dead 2 a year after Left 4 Dead 1, and then they just kind of like left it. Like, why would they do that? That's so stupid. Steam has like the weirdest like fucking approach to video game development. Maulington, nothing ever happens. Hey, we got the Chud meme in here. Nothing ever happens. Yeah, nothing ever happens except unless you elect President Donald Trump as Prime Minister, President of the United States, and things do happen apparently. I don't know. I don't give a shit. I don't know. I don't give a shit if things are gonna go good or bad at the moment. I'm just loving the fucking chaos of Donald being in the president at the moment. It's a fucking loving this chaos, man. It's great. Things are happening finally. There might be bad things, but I don't care. Things are happening. Hell yeah. Most people in Valve wanted to work on Left 4 Dead 2, so they did. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I think these days, like Valve just want to sit around making shitloads of money from their stores, really, rather than actually like make games, which I kind of understand, but it's frustrating, I guess, from a fan perspective. But maybe, I know they released Half-Life Alyx not too long ago, and that was a great game. But it's like, yeah, I guess I don't want to see Valve become like what Blizzard is. Like you know, you got Activision Blizzard these days, like fucking dead, like a shit company. Shit, it's a shame what happened to Blizzard, because again, Blizzard used to be one of those companies where it didn't matter what it was. If Blizzard were releasing a game, you'd be like, hell yeah, I can't wait to see what this game is. I'm gonna buy it because it's Blizzard. And these days, when Blizzard releases a game, all you can think about really is probably, I wonder how much breast milk was stolen in the process of making this game. Right, every time a new Call of Duty game comes out, I wonder how much breast milk was lost during the production of this game. Ramirez, get over there and save this woman's breast milk from the fucking fridge. All the gallons, yeah. Oh my god, guys, stop changing your fucking profile pictures, okay? I'm a visual learner, alright? I'm a visual learner. When you change your profile pictures, and it fucks me up because then I stop being able to recognize you. Huge. I fucking love the way Trump says like millions and billions, by the way. Millions, there's millions and billions of people. I love the way sometimes he even misspeaks. And I mean, I misspeak all the time as well. Or we like just make shit up and like grossly exaggerates numbers as well. So he's like, there's billions and billions of people coming across the border. And it's like, oh shit, there's billions of Mexicans coming across the border. Fuck, we gotta stop it, Trump. What are you gonna do? China! China. I once sold a house for $100 million to a guy from China. Am I supposed to hate him? China. They've done multiple attempts at making Half-Life 3, but they just weren't good and got scrapped. I see. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, you know, I heard something about how they've got some kind of like weird management structure in Valve these days, where there's like no real hierarchy. It's almost like they try to run it like a democracy. I think that was quite some time ago, but maybe they've gotten rid of it now, or maybe it was never a thing in the first place. But it's like, yeah, anybody who spent more than 5 minutes in the real world knows you can't like run a team, you can't run a project as a democracy where there's no hierarchy, because you need someone to set a timeline, like set a deadline for the project. You need someone in a position of authority, of like hierarchy, to set the standards. It's like, yeah, managed democracy. Yeah, it's like the managed democracy is bureaucratic authoritarianism. It doesn't work. Especially what the United Kingdom is. We're a managed democracy. It doesn't fucking work. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the pets. I love this shit, man. Oh, we need to preserve Trump. He needs to live forever and just give us sound bites. It's great. We should hit. I don't know at this point actually be shit posting about the Canada being the 51st state thing. I was certain to begin with he was just like shit posting like an internet troll. I don't know if he's actually serious now. Either way, I think it's hilarious. I mean, it's probably not hilarious if you're a Canadian maybe, but I don't know. I think it's funny to just see like again the president of the United States of all people as well coming out and being like, yeah, we're just gonna start like conquering people. It's like fuck. Like, is Donald Trump like spent too much time in a Hearts of Iron 4 like chat room? Has he spent a lot of time in like a wargaming like chat room? What the fuck? Where the fuck is this coming from? Why is he saying this shit? Yeah, it's like poor Donald Trump. I think has been radicalized by the Hearts of Iron 4 like fucking global chat server. Oh dear. I try not to talk about that shit because I know it genuinely upsets some people, but I don't know, I just think it's fucking funny. Oh my god, you know, Felix, I love like these memes about Baron Trump, like where people make him out like he's the Lisa Now guy, like people make him out that he's like Paul Atreides basically, and he's like the mastermind going, don't worry, he's like, don't worry, father, I have everything sorted out. You know, he's like, Father, you should do this, father, and you will be president and everything will go well, father. Plans within plans, father. Primark Baron, yeah. I think given the fact and the memes of Baron Trump like being like fucking 10 foot tall, right, as well, like shit like that. He's like, yeah, Baron Trump's like the fucking is like the god emperor, is the true god emperor of mankind. It's not Trump, it's Baron Trump. Trump added some new focus trees to the American run. Yeah. This is the thing, the developers, like the globalists, are like the developers of Hearts of Iron 4, and the developers are trying to shut down Trump's mod for America, but he isn't having it. Yeah, you know that Baron Trump, it's on 4chan 100%, yeah. He is really tall. Was Trump really tall as a young man? It's like crazy how genetics work out sometimes, because my dad is 6'4", and I'm, funnily enough, for some reason, I'm 5'8", so it's like, how come my dad's 6'4" and then I'm only 5'8"? It's like, where does that come from? Like, how does that work? I thought you'd like be like the size of like your dad or something. My mum isn't particularly short either. She's 5'7", so yeah, crazy how I wasn't like born around about that same height either. Short King. Look, I'm not self-conscious about my height, but being called Short King actually really pisses me off more than if people like fucking just called me short, right, and mocked me for being short. I could deal with that, that's fine, I don't have a problem with that. But it's like, these people are like, oh my god, you don't need to be shy about your height, Short King. I love you, Short King. It's like, don't call me Short King. I'm not self-conscious about my height. Stop patronizing me, you stupid bitch. Mid-king. Actually, mid-king would describe me quite well, I think. Yeah, mid-king. Maulington, the mid-king. If I was king of England, that would probably be my title, right? As I die and they give me a title, it's like, and there goes King Maulington, the mid-king. He was not too bad, I guess. Goblin furry. Oh no. Is that the British? Is that the British little bro? I mean, I'm 5'6" and I didn't like it until I started flying helicopters. Yeah, I can imagine being on a little bit of the shorter side was great for helicopters, right? It's the same thing. Because I was potentially at one point looking at joining the armored infantry, like again getting into an AFV or like some kind of armored vehicle, as like being only 5'8" or something would be considerably easier than if I was 6'3" or something, right? That's my full name and title. Lord Maulington, the Goblin Furry of England. Oh Christ, what a disgusting... Look, I'm not Vorsh, okay? I don't like the goblin porn. I don't like horse cock. I'm not a furry. I'm not a femboy, and I'm not gay. Even though I probably say some stupid shit that doesn't help the allegations, but I'm not. I'm a sexy, straight, big, strong, burly man. Vorsh. What is it, by the way? What is it with leftist men and being obsessed with cock? Right, you've got Destiny. Destiny loves a bit of cock, putting it mildly. Vorsh loves cock, particularly horse cock. I think there's like another leftist. I think there's another bread tuber as well who really likes cock. Yeah. Oh yeah, Nick Fuentes loves cock as well. That's right. Fucking Nick Fuentes loves cock. But to be fair though, right, Nick Fuentes is a Mexican at the end of the day, right? So I mean, I don't feel too ashamed at Nick because he's not white. But funny enough, though, I'd never really encountered Mexicans or Latins before becoming a VTuber. And like getting into VTubing seriously, and now that I've met like now that I've met Mexicans online, I fucking love Mexicans. They're great. If I could at the push of a button, I'd replace all the British people with Mexicans. That'd be one hell of a ride. I'd love it. It doesn't have to be Mexicans. It could be Latins in general, like Puerto Ricans as well. I love Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans and Mexicans are great company. I love them. We are suave, yeah. Latinx, yeah. Maybe they all like a bit. Oh my god. They all like a dose of vitamins, specifically of the D kind. Ugh, gross. Oh no, they're all fucking degenerates as well, right? I mean, look, don't get me wrong, right? If you Look, if you went... Give me a minute. Look, if you went through my bookmarks, okay? If you went through my bookmarks on Twitter, if you went through my bookmarks on Firefox, look, right? Like, don't get me wrong. I've got some shit on there, right? It's vanilla shit, but I've got some shit on there. So I can't go around calling other people fucking degenerates, I guess. But at the same time, though... people like fucking the hedonistic shit though, like people like Destiny and like Vorsh get up to. It's not even like they like just vanilla gay sex. It's not even that. It's like they're literal like on their knees like rabid, horny as fuck like cock goblins. It's like fucking mental. Right? It's never a case of oh yeah he had like casual consensual like gay sex with someone on like the bed. Right? It's like they're going around like having like gay orgies in hotel rooms and like conventions and shit like a capitalist or a Leah liquor. It's never straight and vanilla with them. Yeah, Iron Mouse is Puerto Rican as well. I guess because of Iron Mouse's like cute anime girl voice, that's like helped me identify all the other Puerto Rican, I guess, like female VTubers because they all sound the same. It's Wemi from Puerto Rico. Is Wemi Puerto Rican? I know, obviously, Nyana Benyana is very open about the fact that she's from Puerto Rico, but again, even without the flag, I could have told, from like the way Iron Mouse sounds, I could have told that Nyana Benyana is a Puerto Rican. Oh, she's West Pacific, is she? Like, Wemby sounds like she's, Latam. Is Wemby, I thought, is Lemmy Watam? Is Watam? Yeah, Watam. Is Wemmy Latam, or is she American? Where's Wemmy from? As long as it's not involving horses like Vorsh, you're fine. The horsewoman doesn't... Yeah, the horsewoman doesn't count. Unless someone drew a Futurima even star, then maybe Vorsh might like that. Oh, Wemmy's Malaysian, is she? Oh, okay. A lot of VTubers at cons get very degenerate, especially after... They do. It's not just the fact... It's the VTubers are the least of your concerns. Hang on, let me change the song. There we go. But the yeah, as we're getting into VTuber degeneracy, we're gonna play The Basement from Resident Evil 2 soundtrack. What a fitting soundtrack to talk about this subject. You guys, do you guys know about the not anymore, not so secret gay orgies that happen at Off-Kai between certain Capitalists and like Leah Likers? I did not. Yeah, and the Betos as well. Yeah, it's well, you know now, Costas. Yeah, it's one of the major problems I have. Was it Betos? I heard it was Capitalists as well. It was the Betos. Oh, okay. I heard this secondhand. I didn't hear this firsthand. I heard it secondhand from someone else. So it was Betos and Leocons. It wasn't the Capitalists. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, vast majority of VTubers are like Asian, right? It's like, I made a tweet about a month ago where I said all VTubers are like hot Asian women unless proven otherwise, and that tweet got like 100k like views and likes and shit because everyone was like, ah, yeah, it's true, we are. But yeah, the Beto and I mean, yeah, like Betos and the Leah Likers are like the fucking are like the boy kisses and femboy kings of the Phase Connect community, and that's saying a lot because there's an awful lot of femboys in the Kapipi community as well. So I'm actually shocked it's just those two getting into like massive like gay orgies in fucking, is it like hotel rooms or is it like gay sex in like secret Off-Kai rooms again? Like, what's the law again? Is it in like hotel rooms or is it actually in Off-Kai itself they're doing this shit? Yeah, I think nearly half a Phase Connect. I've got a joke, by the way, and just spoil. I've got a joke in the Phase Connect documentary where, it's gonna be hard to, I guess, to kind of convey this through words, but I've got a joke in the Phase Connect documentary where when I talk about Lumi and Yuri coming into Phase Connect, that I'm gonna have like a meme, right, where I'm gonna have like a PNG of Lumi and Sakana, like in like a room, and Lumi, and it's like, how did Lumi join Phase Connect? Well, basically Lumi comes into Sakana's DMs and she's like, oh my god, Sakana, can I like have a job? And then Sakana goes, are you mentally ill? And then Lumi goes, I'm a white woman. And then what I'll do is I'll get the Sakana PNG to like look 180 degrees like the other way, and then there'll be like a screen, and on the left side of the screen it will say white, and on the right side of the screen it will say not white, and then on the white side obviously there'll just be Pippa, and then on the not white side it will be everyone else, and then Sakana will say, hey, you know what, we don't have many white people in Phase Connect, you're in, Lumi, hooray. It's Sakana's I think Sakana's like half Chinese or something, right? Yeah, Sakana's Chinese. I always do wonder how the racial jokes will land. You know what? I don't give a shit. I'm gonna go full send. If it doesn't land very well, never mind. Whoops. We'll see how it goes. But yeah. Have you ever discovered that Sakana's hiring strategy is always 4 Asians and 1 white per generation? Unironically true, actually, Felix. I think you're onto something there. I think you're onto it. They need white people to be more diverse, yeah. Never ask for permission, that's right. Just Just ask for forgiveness. You know, don't even ask for forgiveness. Just like pretend that it never happened in the first place and insulate yourself in your hidey hole. That way you don't have to face up to your consequences, right? Hell yeah, that's the way we do it, boys. Yeah. Let me think whilst I think of something else to say. Okay, ad break. Hey, do you guys like trading card games? Who here likes trading card games? Give me a wave if you like trading card games. Do you guys like trading card games? If so, I'll sell you some fucking trading card games. I'm an affiliate with skip ad, there it is. I'm an affiliate with Oshi Push guys, and they're collaborating with FaZe Connect. You can head on over to the, actually, have I put it in the description of the stream? You can get over to the description of this stream, look, and you can buy all these fucking cards from Japanime Games for the Oshi Push card game again, and for enter the special code Lord Maulington into the Japanime Games store, and you can get all these cool FaZe Connect cards and play the latest and greatest new VTuber card game only from Japanime Games called Oshi Push. If you bought part of the Oshi Push Kickstarter program, your cards will be coming roughly in May time, I suppose. So make sure you jump on over to JapanimeGames.com with the special code Lord Mornington and get your FaZe Connect trading cards today. You have no friends to play with? I will be trying my best to get as many online tournaments at Oshi Push in the FaZe Connect community as I can. I think given how many people will probably be interested in playing the game, I think trying to get like the general FaZe community into a tournament will be a lot of people, so I'll need like a lot of help to like judge the games and like get that moving in a reasonable time frame. But yeah, hopefully I can at least get you guys to get you playing on Tabletop Simulator, so you can at least play the game in some format. But if you're buying the physical cards, then obviously there's nothing I can do to help you there. I mean, I myself, I've got no one to play the game with physically, but I'm still going to buy the cards anyway, just because they're just cool to collect, I guess. But maybe I might go to some conventions and participate in some of the tournaments there. So hopefully that will happen. It's like, yeah, if you do go to any of the conventions, the Oshi Push team are trying to get like a tournament for Oshi Push that they organize at each major con. So if you go to like Offkai or Vexpo or whatever, and you've bought some Oshi Push cards, just take it with you and just see if you can find an Oshi Push like venue somewhere, and you'll be able to play with people there at least. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I got my first capital. You saw that? Hell yeah. Say, where are you stationed? Hang on a minute, let me get Pathfinder open up for you actually, Sample, and I'll tell you where I am. Hang on. Oh, actually, fuck. Actually, never mind. Pathfinder won't work because I've got my VPN activated. Never mind. I'm in a Class 5 wormhole. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, I'm afraid, Sample, but if you manage to get something in this Class 5 wormhole to come get me, try it, pussy. We've got one hell of a standing fleet. We have hundreds of billions of ISK worth of caps that we can undock. We've got like guys that have 20 ults, like 20 dread ults just ready to drop on you if you try to tackle my fucking dreadnought. All right, look, I wanna shoot something with my Naglfar before I lose it. All right, please, like. Sample, we have enough problems with no vacancies, laser hawks, and hard knocks coming around to try to kick over our sandcastles. I don't need you coming for my dreadnought either. Yeah, Rooney's Southern, that's right. I don't know about, I have no idea where Amy's from. Can't tell where she's from. Amy's, all I know about Amy is that she likes boy love and she loves screaming about shit. My biggest is a tech, oh what, a Marauder you mean? I've got a, obviously we rat and C5s with both Dreadnoughts, and we also use Marauders as well. My Marauder of choice is a Varga. I'm so excited for the 4-year-old Pippa Eve stream. You know what, if Pippa ever does actually go ahead and do an Eve stream someday, I would love to show her the ropes and like bring her into my wormhole maybe, and like we do some like fucking shenanigans and like Eve with Pippa. But I think the problem is that even if Pippa did like play Eve online, the game is so incredibly complex. There's no way I think she could actually reasonably engage in PvP for like stream-based content. She would need to spend like countless hours like off stream being mentored before she'd be ready to engage in like low sec, null sec, or wormhole life, unfortunately. I know that Jelly and Lumi are both EVE Online players, so maybe, realistically speaking, maybe there could be like a Faith Connect collab with Pippa, Lumi, and Jelly, where those three are playing EVE Online. That'd be cool. Yeah, Pippa couldn't handle Rust, never mind Eve. Like, fuck it out, yeah. Yeah, she's had it for scheduled for like 2 years. I think it's just like a chat room that she's left up for meme's sake, basically. Oh, it's Moo Filipino as well. What about Erina? I heard like Erina's from Southeast Asia or something. Yeah, Jelly and Lumi are both ex-Eve players, I believe. I don't know if Lumi still plays Eve, but Lumi's talked about Eve before. Yeah, Eve can be a stream-friendly game. It's just really difficult. It's just not a very friendly game to learn if you don't. It's just a really difficult game to learn. So if you're a new player, it's not going to be a very like fun experience for people to watch a brand new Eve player like start streaming for the first time. But when you know what you're doing, it can be fun. But then the problem is that if you start streaming Eve Online, like all the PvPers are constantly like looking for free kills and are looking for opportunities. So you're going to have your chat full of stream snipers who will be coming to like drop on you and like ruin your roam, essentially. So the problem is that if you do stream EVE Online, you're gonna get like gate camped, or you're gonna get like 10 people like drop on you in like Black Ops or something, maybe. I think Erin is Filipino as well. Yeah, they're all they're all not American, let's put it that way. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else. What is there anything? Is there any drama? Do you guys want me to start talking about mean girl drama shit that's going on in VTubing currently? Any other topics for discussion? Any takes you want me to talk about? I don't know. Any thoughts about girlfriend experience? I think we spent more time not talking about girlfriend experience than we did girlfriend experience. But yeah, I only had like 30 minutes worth of thoughts about the risks to the VTuber and how unethical I think it is to do girlfriend experience. So yeah, that particularly for you, Felix, since you're a girl and all, make sure you keep your girlfriend experience on the down low, Felix. Otherwise, yeah, you might run into some different difficulties. Wait, speaking of girlfriend experience, Lumi posted her feet. Did she? Really? Did Lumi post her feet? What, on Twitter? I don't think I saw it. I'm not a woman. Yes, you are, Felix. Yes, you are. Come on, Felix. Look, okay. I know you're hurting for cash a little bit, Felix. Okay, but don't do that GFE, man. It will destroy you. Okay. People are gonna get really jealous, Felix, and they're gonna find out where you live. I'm as woman as you are. Oh, okay. So you're a big, strong, burly man like me. Okay, my bad. Oh, it was on stream. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Oh, I know. I've got a topic here to tangent into now. Okay, like here we go. It's that time of the year. It's that time of the stream now where Maulington has his regular whining and moaning about the state of the Lumi Goomies. Okay. Well, I mean, I say Lumi Goomies. I'm not sure if they really are Lumi Goomies. I say, out of curiosity, how many of you here have like dropped something? It could be anything. It doesn't have to be a VTuber. It could be like a show or a game or a VTuber. How many of you have like dropped something, or you've started to dislike something you used to like, not because of any problems with that thing itself, but because certain parts of the fan base are so obnoxious or annoying, it's like turned you off of that thing. Like, has anyone experienced that before? Like, for most of my life, I've been one of those people where I don't really engage with the community of things I like anyway. So if like a fan base or like community discussion around a thing I like are like full of like stupid annoying dickheads, and I normally don't care because I don't perceive their existence anyway. But yeah, like recently, like in the last month or so, there's been like I think for like the last 2 months, there's been absolutely like non-stop first posting about Lumi, and there's been like non-stop, I guess, like tourist takes about Lumi as well from people who are like, oh yeah, I love Lumi because of the white woman yap, and she's so stupid, and you know, feet and tits and sexy and shit, lol. And it's actually it's seeing this shit on Twitter it's starting to actually really, it's not even Lumi's fault, but it's starting to piss, they're starting, some of these fans, some of these like touristy fans are starting to annoy me so much. It's actually started to make me hate like Lumi, right? Even though she's done nothing wrong. It's like if I watch a Lumi stream, I'm like, yeah, this is fine, I have no problems with this. But certain parts of the fan base now are like becoming so annoying in their commentary on Twitter. It's like, it makes me not want to watch Lumi anymore. So it's like I don't watch Lumi streams anymore because like some of the people posting on Twitter have like just pissed me off so much. I don't want to watch her for it anymore. Yeah, I think she's drawing a lot of new people after 3D concerts. That's part of it. But it's like, well, I think when Puppy and Denied started going like on a massive Lumi Ludes kind of spree on Twitter. I don't have a again. It probably sounds like unicornish to say this. My problem isn't that they're drawing Ludes at Lumi. I don't give a fuck if my favorite VTuber has a boyfriend or a husband or has fucking lewd sexy shit. In their fucking what do you call it? Like fan art and stuff. But it's just a case of, it's like everywhere I seem to go on Twitter now, it's people talking about, it's basically people gooning over lewd Lumi art and like having the most like basic tourist takes on like what Lumi's content is. It's really getting on my fucking nerves like so much. I don't want to watch her anymore. And it's like affecting my enjoyment of Lumi. I kind of think, I just think it's weird that I'm feeling that way. And I'm kind of thinking, it's like, I think what it is, I think what's happening is it's almost like kind of like Pavlovian conditioning, where these like ignorant takes are actually like warping my perceptive of what Lumi's content is. So because so many people are like, oh yeah, Lumi's a dumb white woman yapper and that's basically all she is, it's actually like almost like making me think that really is all Lumi is. And then kind of like my inherent kind of like disgust at that kind of content is then making me go, ugh. Yeah, I don't want to watch Lumi because she's that stupid yapping white bitch. Which, I mean, it's not entirely wrong. She does that stuff. I don't mind that stuff in moderation. But it's kind of like warping, I think, my perception of what her content is. So now I don't want to watch her anymore because like the fans have like these new fans have like kind of changed my perception of what her content's about, if that makes sense. So I've stopped watching Lumi streams quite a while ago now, and instead I'm just like watching people like Tenma, Panko, and Aruku instead. Which is worrying. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's a cope, and I'm just like bored because I've been watching her for so long. So like maybe it's just boredom. Essentially, it's the reason why I don't want to do it anymore. Yeah, Lumi collaborating with Twitch YouTubers, and yeah, actually, I think that probably makes more sense than my suggestion. Actually, SpongeBob. Maybe it is the collabs that she's been doing and attracting, like siphoning the fan bases from the YouTubers. That probably is what it is. Maybe. Resident Evil 2 music, that's right, it is. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I guess it's a kind of a good thing because now it gives me an incentive to like kind of like go around and like watch other talents, I guess. I mean, I imagine I'll come back at some point, I'll rotate back around and feel like, yeah, you know what, it's been a while since I watched Lumi. I've kind of calmed down now. The fan base isn't pissing me off anymore, so I'll go back to watching Lumi. You don't watch Pippa anymore, Pascal's awesome. Yeah, that's fair enough. Is it just like, I think you kind of mentioned it before, you just kind of going off VTubing a little bit in general as well. But is it also like the fan base, or is it just like the kind of content that's going on at the moment kind of turns you off maybe? Take the Irie pill. Reject lewd, embrace the mood. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's again, I don't have a problem with like people drawing like fucking outrageous like lewds of my favorite talents and shit. It's not the art that's the problem. It's like the takes. Right, it's like that fucking, what was it, a couple weeks ago, there was that 4chan clip. I think it was about Leah or something. It was about something. It was a clip from 4chan and it said like, why do we gatekeep people? And it's like, we gatekeep people because they enjoy shit for the wrong reasons and then they ruin it and it's annoying, right? And I'm like, for like the longest time I haven't really been bothered by people enjoying things for the wrong reason. And now it's like, actually I'm like, oh, for the first time I'm like, oh, I see why people get annoyed. Yeah, I probably just need a break. That happens with everything, right? But I've been watching Lumi for like at least probably like 2-3 days a week, most weeks since like June 2021 or something like that. Yeah, like a month or so after she debuted with Cyberlife. That's good going, right? That's almost 4 years of watching one streamer. I think the only people who I've watched, like, as long as I've watched Lumi, I've watched Germa and Sequisha longer than I've watched Lumi. So most people I tend to, like, drop within a year anyway. So, I mean, 4 years is pretty good for a VTuber. It does seem like there's a hidden level of lewd that can be entertaining, but if it goes beyond that, it stops being funny. Yeah, I mean, everyone's different. People take different things from VTubing. You know, you get people who get really into the source of VTubing, they get really into the idol stuff, the fan base stuff, and they really buy into like the personalities and the drama, and they get like, it's like the Disney magic. They get too wrapped up in the Disney magic things and forget that these are like 20-something, 30-something, like American woman playing a character. You get people who kind of come into VTubing and they just want to goon and maybe like fantasize about like dating the VTubers. Again, I don't think too badly about these people as well. I imagine if I was like a horny, you know, like lonely 14-year-old again, I'd probably like fester, you know, like parasocial relationships with VTubers. I understand why people do it. I don't think too harshly of them for being that way inclined. It's more of a, I think more badly of the VTuber for deliberately fostering that kind of relationship with their fan base and then like doing it as well to like take money from them as well. That seems like really scummy and really that seems like really predatory in my opinion. I guess we managed to kind of loop around back into GFE again, but it's not even GFE. I know there's always VTubers out there who know I think there's a lot of VTubers out there who know full well that many in their fan base have an unhealthy level of obsession with them, and instead of like ignoring it or making maybe some kind of public statement to try and, you know, get people to calm down a little bit and step back and not get so worked up over them, is they actually double down on it. They actually reward that behavior, and then they use that to obviously extract more money from people. I think, you know, it's tricky, right? Because it's like, ultimately there's nothing you can do to stop people from becoming obsessed with you, but at the same time, I guess kind of like the way my morals and ethics works is, it's like if I saw someone like launching, like just constantly giving me money all the time, and, you know, like saying, like just going way too far with like the love and the praise and how much they thought about me, at that point, you know, I'd be at the point where I'd kind of, you know, I don't know, maybe this would make it worse, but actually like kind of reach out to that person a little bit and just go like, hey man, you know, I appreciate all this, you know, like love and attention and the money you're giving me, thank you, but look, I'm just some dumb fucking slovenly 5'8" English lisping retard from the English countryside, okay? Look, just please stop giving me money, stop giving me all this attention. I'm just some stupid retard on the internet trying to entertain people. Like, fucking stop doing it, please. You know, I don't know, but I mean, the thing is, at the same time, though, is I guess it's easy for me to say that because I've got a steady, relatively decently paying job. I guess if this is like your only source of income and you want to, I guess, like do this as a full-time career, your time as a VTuber or streamer in general is very limited. So I guess you are like directly incentivized to extract as much money from your pay piggies as possible. But again, as I said before, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Pippa's content, I can't speak highly enough about how much I respect people like Pippa, for example. Because one of the reasons why I really respect Pippa is because she knows how many people in her fan base like go way too far in their appreciation for her, and sometimes she does. I don't think she does it deliberately, maliciously, but sometimes she does like encourage that herself when she like perhaps overshares stuff about herself. But for the most part, Pippa like goes out of her way to kind of, you know, encourage people to leave like their room, leave their house, and like make something of themselves and make something of their lives, and like she smacks them down when they're being like too cringe and weird, right? I really respect the fact that she does that, whereas a lot of VTubers either ignore it or they try to profit and monetize like off of it, right? Essentially. Parasocial has a recent video that really skewers the GFE overdoses out there. He really nails them to the wall. Oh, really? That's interesting. Yeah. Unfortunately, the worst part, alright, about being, I guess, a sometimes documentary VTuber is I go out of my way not to watch like people like Para or Rima Evenstar anymore, even though I really like their content. And the reason why I don't do it is because I don't want like their content and I don't want their opinions to like essentially even subconsciously like influence my own. I want to like remain my own thing, and I'm scared that if I watch too much Para or Rima, I'll start like subconsciously, you know, copying them, unfortunately, so I can't enjoy their videos anymore, sadly. I've just limited myself to just oh, okay. In this, I'll read Pascal's in just a sec. In this sense, Armor modeling community has made me detest vehicles I love, painting and kit bashing minis. But man, I don't want to touch a tank like ever due to how rabid and insane those guys are. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, Baron. It's like, you shouldn't let, like, I guess, like, other people in the way they enjoy your hobby is like the same hobby you have, like, influence your own opinion. But you just can't help yourself, right? Because now every time you look at that thing, you just can't help but think back to, you know, those annoying people and what they think about your favorite hobby as well. So it's kind of annoying. I've limited myself to just seeing failure clips of Pippa and more interactive with some of her tweets, but that's it. Yeah. I think, actually, Parasocial Sauce, you've given me a great idea for a further tangent. And I'll just read chat for a little bit while first. You know what? I have noticed that Pascal Sauce's channel, I've actually done the same with the failure clips. I think, actually, no, hang on. Let me restrain myself. I'll get to my point in a second after I've read more chat. Actually, I'll probably forget by the time I'm done reading chat, but hopefully I won't. Let's see. It was a good video, but oh, is that the parrot stuff? Good video, but depressing to watch. I guess how did parrot? I guess I might watch that one. I think watching one parrot video won't like poison my opinion. But that video parrot did. So what was he doing? Was he essentially like taking a look at examples of people like going way too far with their love of a streamer due to like GFE stuff and like posting really cringe shit? And then what was he doing? Was he like laughing at them, or was he just like having a serious commentary about how it's not healthy? Isn't that what happened with that one JP streamer that got stabbed as the guy wanted a refund? Oh, that was actually, that story behind that one was way darker than people thought. Yeah, it's like actually that woman, yeah, that woman had been stringing him along for quite some time and like took money from him as well that was intended as a loan, and then she wouldn't pay him back and like kept gaslighting him. So as he wasn't getting his money back and he felt betrayed, yeah, he stabbed her to death. Like, what a fucking adventure that one was. God damn. The shit that... Never loan people money, guys, okay? The only time you should borrow money from someone is if they're about to get whacked by the mob or they're about to die, okay? Otherwise, never borrow money from people. It never works out well. Even family. Yeah, Hero, she was stringing him along big time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Pippa handles that stuff very well. Don't get me wrong, I respect Pippa. Yeah, this is the thing, right? You can not necessarily like a streamer's content, but still like think really highly of them as a person, right? As, you know, I do it all the time. Even if I was like a blue-haired, regressive, like leftist dickhead, I'd still probably really respect Pippa for like some of the shit she does, even if I don't agree with like her politics or humor. Yeah, it was over debt with that parasocialism streamer. Yeah, fucking hell. Oh yeah, the 500. This is the thing. One of the things about VTubing is I never can tell when people are like joking and when people are dead serious. There's like people like me out there who will go along with the bit, thinking it is in fact a bit, right, and be a little bit crazy for the bit. And it's like, yeah, I can never tell when people are being dead serious or not. And it's like, or I always have that. Oh, what's that guy's face? Who's that black guy with the mustache who does that gaming show in America, right? He has like the really memeable facial expressions. Like I have like that guy moment where I'm like, oh yeah, we're playing along. Yeah, we you know, feet and, you know, love and breedable and cunny and ha ha ha. You know, really funny. And then it's like, I realize that the people who I'm doing this shit with aren't actually joking, and I'm like, oh. Oh, fuck. You can watch the others so you can balance that out. That's true. I'm going to take this moment of model mention to ask squarely if anyone has any tips on how to apply stickers other than good luck. I can't help you with that one, unfortunately, Time Wizard. I'm not very good with models and painting either. You guys should see like my latest batch of Plague Marines I painted. It looks like it looks like Stephen Hawking painted my last fucking Plague Marines. I coloured out of the lines, I like painted out of the lines and like fucking everything. I'm terrible at that shit. Oh, just doing his usual thing, right? Just taking shit posts from VT. God, yeah. I mean, I've never been a fan of 4chan, even in its golden age. I've always much preferred the format of boards like the Something Awful forums or something like Kiwi Farms or the Virtual Asylum, like stuff like that. I find that having an actual like identity and presence on the forum, in addition to how those forums are set up with like, you know, their own areas, like discussion areas, and then like threads under each area, I tend to find facilitates a much better and more interesting and varied conversation than what happens with the boards. Because the problem is that when you're on Anon, you know, like posting in 4chan and shit, sometimes you do get like really good conversations and like interesting conversations going in the boards sometimes, but because of that anonymous thing, you know, you get people who wouldn't otherwise have the balls to do it, like just come along and just like crayon and like shit all over your thread when you're having a good discussion because they're an anon and like no one knows who they are, and it gives them that bravery to like go out and shitpost. The great thing about stuff like the Something Awful forums is that by having your name out there and like having a reputation, you know, you like retards get like hazed out of the community, or even if they don't get hazed out of the community and they actually still stick around, then people just know, right, that, oh, this dickhead's in the thread, we're gonna ban him from the thread. Or it's like we all just like silently agree to ignore all the shit this retard says. Steve Harvey, that's it. Yeah, I have a Steve Harvey impression quite frequently when I see some of this shit people say sometimes. Hell yeah, Something Awful goons represent. Yeah, God, I mean, yeah, I joined the Something Awful forums in 2005 when I was fucking 12 years old. So I mean, my excuse for being a goon is that I was literally 12 years old at the time, and I kind of stopped being a goon about 12 years ago, really. Yeah, so what was that? It was about 9 years being a goon, and about 5 years being an EVE Online goon before I went into Gal Mill, and then now I'm in a C5, a big C5 wormhole corporation. Good fun. I fucking love EVE Online. I had a 5-year break from EVE, just got back into it about 2 months ago. I love it. I think EVE is one of those games where it's like you stop playing it for several years, and then like after several years, it's like a siren's call that calls back to you, and you just think, I'm getting a craving for EVE for some reason. I'm gonna open up EVE again. And then you open up EVE and it's like, oh my god, it's like taking a drug or something almost. The hacker, who is this 4chan? Who is this 4chan person and what are they after? I like Kiwi Farms, but Noel has such a ridiculous hate boner for anime and VTubers, it makes me avoid it. Well, you know, it's funnily enough, right? Like Kiwi Farms and like Noel hating VTubers and anime, you couldn't. It's like history repeats itself, because again, as you guys may know if you know your internet history, 4chan exists in the first place because the Something Awful forums, like Richard Lotax, hated anime and shit, and being fed up with like his arbitrary moderation and persecution of anime enjoyers, 4chan was made obviously by Moon, so the ex Something Awful forums goons who talk about anime and peace. And obviously Kiwi Farms is basically the continuation of the old Something Awful forums, and it's like it's funny because now like Noel, just like Lotax before him, hates anime. So yeah. Yeah, traditional forums are better because you get a sense of who to trust. You do, and it's like having an actual like physical ID. It's funny because you're still like just some retard on the internet, but not having like having a name and like a profile picture attached to you like really deteriorates. It like really deters, I think, some people from like shitting and like crayoning over actually like interesting threads and discussions. Baron's advice is what I would do too. Yeah. The fools usually become village idiots in forums. Yeah, the thing is, it's with any like website, you always have those guys, like those 2-3 guys everyone ignores, who just doesn't get like who just doesn't understand the vibe or understand like the humor of the community. And it doesn't necessarily do enough to get banned off the forums, but like every time he posts in the thread, no one like ever interacts or replies to him, right? Because he just says like stupid dumb shit. I can't see why Gab hates anime so much. Who's Gab? I don't know who Gab is, I don't think. I need to play more Eve. Yeah, Eve is fun. Eve's a good game. There's so much you can do these days as well. The game's really evolved and become more user-friendly since the old days. And then once you got one of them filtered or banned because of their stupid fucking spam, yeah, they're winding the clips, yeah. I'm always amused by the base people who hate Japanese media, the last bastion of non-book media. Yeah, this is the thing. And also, actually, kind of adjacent to that, I always do find it interesting how kind of like in the last 5-6 years or so, there's been a lot of, again, there's been like a lot of like progressive and like cultural Marxists and like leftists who have come into the anime sphere, and they're talking about like getting rid of like the conservatives and the chuds and like the right wingers from VTubing in anime. And again, it's like, motherfucker, like these people have been in the anime sphere, have been in the anime scene since the early 2000s. They were here first. You guys, you were the tourists. You were the guests coming into anime, right? I remember, after all this time, I remember the early 2000s. I remember like fucking the Manga Fox forums and whatnot, having so many people with like Nazi anime girl PFPs and shit. I mean, I never did go much for like the anime right and the anime neo-Nazism stuff. I find like Nazism abhorrent, as well as like all the genuine like racist and anti-Semitic stuff abhorrent, but those guys have always been in this community. They were here first because anime has always been that anti-establishment, like kind of like trad value, kind of like based content that centrists and like right-wingers both can enjoy, and it's like one of the last bastions of places where you can avoid all the fucking, you know, all the culturally Marxist and current day shit that's infesting all of our media. Oh, it's that platform. I've only heard about that platform before. I've never used it. I don't know much about it. It's free speech unless it's porn, so anything, porn, probably you mean. So anything goes as long as it isn't porn. Some view anime and VTubers porn there. Yeah, there's as I've been doing research on stuff, I've come across like some really small, like weird sites that get up to like massive gay ops and stuff. It's always disappointing. I think one thing that I really hate about the current state of the internet is how prevalent gay ops has become these days, right? It's like doxing has been around since like the fucking 1980s. But I remember back in the it's like back in the early to mid 2000s, if you had a bad take on anime or you pissed people off, they'd just be like in your DMs, or they'd like whisper you in WoW, right? They'd be in your whispers, and they just call you like a faggot or a retard, or they just call you names, and they, I don't know, like they just spurg in your DMs for like a day, and then everyone would get on with their life. But these days, it seems like gay ops has become like the first like go-to thing people do when they don't like anything you said or done. And it's like, it's so fucking annoying. Yeah, like people like Chibi, for example. Yeah, I hear gay ops and I see short fat attacky, right? Yeah, like, I don't know at what point it became like the first call to action when someone does or says something you don't like is to like gay ops or like fucking dox them. It's such like faggotry of the highest order. Like imagine trying to like imagine trying to like swat or kill or like, you know, ruin someone's life because they don't like Boruto. Like fucking hell. Like as well, of all the anime to get butthurt over, fucking Boruto. Jesus Christ. Fuck me. Shout out to Amalgame VT. Shit, I born into... Oh, I think my model's lagging a little bit now. I think my phone might be starting to overheat because I've been yapping now for nearly 3 hours. See, oh, he also cyberstocks. I do a pussy, I live in Serbia. It's funny. Oh dear. Is it that Pippa clip of like Pippa saying, "Short fat attacker, get the fuck out of my stream. If I see you again, I'll fucking kill you." It's like, oh my god, it's like Ethan Ralph era Pippa had come back for a moment there. Like fucking hell, if she really was drunk. I do wonder sometimes if VTubers really are drunk or they're playing around, you know, on stream. I think Pippa actually was drunk when she went on that tirade. She's definitely, I think Pippa's learned a bit since the days of Goonalot, right? I think she's learned now that you nip the problem in the bud and you don't like let it keep going on now. Or maybe she just hates short fat Otaku that much. She's less patient than she was with Good a lot. I don't know. Yeah, this is the thing. Pippa, God bless her, sweetheart, actually, you know, really genuinely cares about her friends. And this is the thing, like, that the people that short fat Otaku and like so many other internet weirdos don't get, is that Kirsche isn't just like an internet friend for Pippa. Like, Kirsche is an actual in real life friend that Pippa's known for a long time. So it's like, it's one thing, right, to like talk mad shit about someone who you quite like, who are like an internet colleague, like an internet friend or business partner. That's one thing. But when you go around like talking mad shit about you know, someone's actual real life friend and then expect them to tolerate that shit, it's peak Canadian Odyssey. It's like peak retardation. Funny enough, here in Russia, instead of edgy anime girls in Hugo Boss uniforms, oh, it's the exact opposite. Really? Is it communist anime girls in Russia? I don't know. I guess that kind of makes sense, because obviously communism is mostly linked to like Russia, so you'll get like commissars and stuff. But yeah, I guess it, like, my understanding of communism and like Nazism, like neo-Nazism in Russia, I guess is basically contained from the Metro games. Like, I guess my question is, Baron, like, what do people in Russia like generally think about like Nazism and communism in Russia? Because I see there's like neo-Nazi biker groups in Russia. And I know like every country has like neo-Nazi biker groups. But is like communism seen in like higher regards in Russia than Nazis? Would Russians be more sympathetic to Nazism? Or I don't know, which way does it work? Well, yeah, why are we in a boss battle the entire time? Yeah. Let's see, what else we got? Ooh, this is a good song. I like this one. This is the marshalling yard now. Yeah, this is one of the best tracks from Resident Evil 2. I really like this one. Yeah, it still cracks me up that Kirsch's never read or seen anything from Lord of the Rings. We need to fix that. I guess I could help Kirsche get into the Lord of the Rings autism, since I'm the Lord of the Rings guy. I'm the Lord of the Rings voice impressions guy.
Tell me your name, Horsemaster, and I shall tell you mine. I would cut off your head, dwarf, if it stood but a foot further off the ground.
What the fuck does Legolas say again? I can't understand the fucking word Legolas says in any of those 3 movies.
You would fall before your blow struck. Go back to the pit that spawned you, demon. And you have my bow.
Time to get on the train? No, spare her. Yes, convert her. Here we go, 50-50.
They're taking the hobbits to
Taking the hobbits to Isengard is the only intelligible thing that Legolas says in those entire movies.
They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Well, this is one dwarf you won't ensnare so easily. I have the eyes of a hawk and the ears of a fox.
Ooh. The dwarf breathed so loud, we could have shot him in the dark.
Aragorn, these woods are perilous. We should go back.
Oh, it's too late. It's too late for that, Gimli, son of Glóin. Oh my god, I've said this before, right? I really want to voice act like an elf in like Lord of the Rings media, or like a fucking imperial guardsman in something relating to 40k. I would overact and ham the ever-loving fuck if they gave me like a voice acting role as an imperial guard officer in something like 40k related. Right, like thinking like even more like overreacting than what's that guy in Dawn of War 2's DLC? The Imperial, he's the Imperial Guard main character, General Castor, right? Is it General Castor? Is that his name in Dawn of War 2?
Commander here, go ahead. You think I'm incompetent, Sergeant Major? Sergeant Major, there is no saving that planet. Between the orcs and Tyranids and the demons, that planet could not be saved. I had to call the exterminators. And now I know where Chapter Master Kyrus is hiding. He's not as intelligent as he think he is. He's on Cyrene. I placed it all together as we were going through the ruins here on the planet. Now, you can continue with your attempt to kill me, Sergeant Major, but I don't like to waste good men. We need another good Dawn of War game. It's been way too long. Dawn of War game, not 40k game. We've got Space Marine 2, which is good.
I need to stream Space Marine 2 actually on stream.
Toss me.
What?
I cannot jump the distance, you're gonna have to toss me. Don't tell the elf.
Not a word.
You could have picked a better spot. Legolas, what's going on?
Would you like me to describe it to you? Or would you like me to fetch you a box?
Tree? I am no tree. I am an ant. Don't talk to it, Mary. Don't encourage it. Treebeard is what they call me.
Who the fuck started me now going on my schizo voice acting roulette? He never mentioned voice acting in front of me. Otherwise I can't help myself. It's kind of sad we won't be getting movies like... I know, right? It's sad we're not getting movies like the Lord of the Rings trilogy again. Fucking... Look at how much money was put into Amazon's Ring of Power, right? Like, literally $1 billion was put into that. And the production value, like the costume design, the set design, looks like it was made with like $50 and like fucking a bag of crisps. Whereas like Lord of the Rings, which released in like 2001 and like had like a quarter of the budget, looks a million times better than it does in Rings of Power. Rings of Power. Oh my god, you know what? Of all the crimes in Rings of Power, the fucking bitch off between Galadriel and the fucking Queen of Numenor is genuinely the worst scene, the worst writing, the worst dialogue I've seen in my 32 years on this planet. Who the fuck thought it was a good idea in Lord of the Rings media to have a fucking queen off between fucking Galadriel and the Queen of Numenor? There is a tempest inside of me. And then you get the fucking Queen bitch of Numenor then like does the fucking woman wide eyes back, right, where they're both looking at each other like, and it's like, oh my god, this is only like the gayest men on the planet, or this was like written by some really obese, like fat fucking pink-haired 20-year-old cunt called Gloria who lives in California would think this is like good, cool, this was like good, cool writing and like good set design. Like fucking hell, like who thought that would be good? That's so fucking funny for all the terrible reason it is. It's so bad. It's like, there is a tempest inside. And again, they're trying to portray Galadriel. And they're trying to portray girl bossing. They're trying to portray like women as being strong, independent leaders. And we got some military guys, right? We got some fellow military guys in this chat right now. And obviously, as we know, probably from like learning from the example of our superiors in the military, you know, it's a very bad sign of leadership when you've got like the literal like essentially two queens of two different civilizations are openly, loudly and publicly like basically breaking their diplomatic negotiations to have like an ego-driven like pissing match, like bitch off, right? Like you would never in a million years, well, I don't know about that one actually, but you would probably never in your lifetime see like a colonel walk up to another colonel like in front of like the fucking formation and to see them like start fucking screaming at each other and like high knife handing each other, right? You don't do that, right? I don't think you like publicly see like the colonel of, you know, the infantry forces and like the colonel of the like like an armor colonel like having a public screaming match each other like over ego nonsense, at least in public. You would try to resolve this in a more measured and diplomatic manner because obviously the infantry and the cavalry have to work well together. But again, Netflix is like, yeah, they think like good girl bossing is to watch women like not listen to any of their subordinates, not take anything with a measured, calm and like rational approach to anything. It's literally a case of you must do what I say. You cannot question me. You cannot exercise any form of independent thought because I am right and you are wrong. And if you do go against my orders, then I'm gonna like talk down to you and act like a massive fucking bitch. Even though what you're saying is, instead of like explaining it, instead of trying to convince you why you're wrong and explain it to you in a calm and coherent manner, instead what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like talk down to you and like mock you and publicly humiliate you in front of like fucking everyone. And that's obviously, I don't know what fucking school of leadership that the Queen of Numenor or Galadriel went to, but they missed me with that shit, thank you. Yeah, that's something you could, yeah, that's something you only see in office jobs, right? I was so great, I was in training when I had no physical way to watch Rings of Power. Yeah. God, yeah, the problem is that there were such great examples of leadership on television back in the day. I did a stream on it, right? But I always think back to Star Trek, and I think back to how Commander Data in Star Trek handled the insubordinate, like, Mr. Worf, right? And it's like, oh yeah, and there was also that, like, fucking dickhead as well, that when Data was, like, the captain of another ship, right? But you've got Mr. Worf, like, acting agitated and, like, undermining the authority and the legitimacy of Data. And then it's like, instead of screaming with Data, instead of like screaming with Mr. Wolf, right? Instead of Data like going up to Mr. Wolf and going like, there is a tempest inside of me, Mr. Wolf, and you will do what I say because I'm in charge. He was like, look, Mr. Wolf, can I just see you in my private quarters for a minute? Yes, sir. And then they have that discussion, you know, in the privacy of the captain's quarters. And again, instead of like talking down to him and acting like a fucking sanctimonious dickhead, Data's like, look, Mr. Wolf, I have a problem with your conduct. I'm finding it unsatisfactory. And then Mr. Wolf, instead of being like, I can't believe you said that. There's a tempest in me, Data. I can't believe you said that. I'm a big, strong, independent man, and you can't talk to me that way. No, he's like, may I ask in what way, sir? In what way is my conduct unsatisfactory? And then Data tells him, he's like, look, here are my problems with you, and here is why I think that your conduct is unbecoming of an officer in Starfleet. And then Mr. Wolf goes, okay, I understand, but when I was under the command of Captain Picard, he would allow me to question the orders of my superiors. And then Data goes, yes, but in private and ultimately as the executive officer, it is your job to execute my orders when I have made a decision. And then Mr. Wolf goes, yeah, you know what? That's my bad. I'm wrong. You know, you're right. You know, please look over this. I'd be happy to, I trust you, I respect you, and I'm happy to follow your orders. Great, fantastic leadership there. But yeah, these weird Netflix writers think that leadership and girl bossing is like screaming and like humiliating and like mocking people and like getting one over on people as well. And that's something that's one thing about leadership I absolutely can't stand. Because again, I've seen people before, right? I've seen like, particularly when you're going through like the officers academy at like Sandhurst, or maybe you're going through basic training. It's like there's always at least one guy I find in training who is like, he's like Superman. He's better than everybody else. He's way more physically fit. He gets things much quicker than everyone. But it's like he's absolutely smashing training. But then instead of like using that, instead of like using that advantage he has to like lead and inspire other people and like help them through training and like set an example to them, instead he's like, yeah, you guys suck. You aren't on my level. You're shit. I'm great. Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, you can rot there and get like chewed out by the I don't know what you call them, like drill sergeants or whatever. And it's like, I can't fucking stand people like that, right? What a random tangent that was as well. It just the subject of leadership is just something, I don't know, at this point in my life is just something that I don't know, it's just something I get like autistically obsessed over, I guess, probably because it's such a big part of my life, and it's like something that just like matters a lot to me, I guess, personally. I can't stand bad leaders. Where's my GFE at? Where's my BFE at? You know what? Maybe at some point in the next week or so, I'll do like a meme BFE like ASMR stream. I kind of like went on a triple tangent there, so I kind of want to return to the original tangent that I was having fun with, but I can't remember what the original tangent was. Oh, actually, Aaron, I think I saw some interesting comments. Actually, I think I saw something you talking about a kernel or something. God, can you hear it? Can you hear how fucked my voice is now, by the way? I don't know if you can hear it. If you can, oh my god, I've got like a singing stream on Tuesday, and my voice is gonna be gone by then. The people who wrote that likely don't have a lot of experience in social situations outside their soy bubble. Yeah, you're probably right. It's one of those things, right, where it's like you can tell the people who wrote that scene have never actually like had a real job before, right? Like they're probably like fresh out of university, or they're just like right at Starbucks for a living. I've heard my old captain curse out a higher up. Oh, have you? Yeah, you know what, actually, Generation Kill, I love Generation Kill. That's such a funny thing. Like Captain America in Generation Kill is like, it's if they haven't like if they haven't been like exaggerating Captain America, then can you like imagine having like someone, if you're like in like a recon battalion, or you're like in a door kicking infantry unit, and you've got some like Captain fucking America as was Captain America was Captain America a platoon commander, or was he a company commander? I forget. But it's like, you know, you're about to go on a mission, right? It's like a really dangerous mission into like a heavily fortified, occupied enemy city, and then like as you're getting ready, right, for deployment, you get like your company commander comes in, and they're like, they could be coming from all sides. They could be coming from all sides, and then he's like spurging out on the radio to like the the colonel or whatever, and he's like, I need my men need more. We need more support, otherwise men are gonna start fucking dying. And it's it's like, Jesus Christ, fucking calm down, dude. You're like making everyone nervous. Like, relax, man. But yeah, just think back to like Captain America being on the comms to Godfather and being like, we need to move, otherwise all my men are gonna fucking die. They're gonna be coming from all sides. I saw a colonel and a lieutenant colonel and a major scream at each other over who can. Yeah, but that's different though. They can stay over here. But this is the interesting thing, right, about the difference in behavior between American officers and British officers, right? So I saw, the funniest thing I ever saw, right, is I saw like a young officer, like I think it was in where was it? Yeah, it was in Dartmouth, which is a naval academy for Royal Marines and Royal Navy officers. And there was like a guy had like rocked up to begin training as a Royal Marines officer, and he had his top button undone, right? And like one of the the lieutenant who'd come to do the initial inspection of guys who'd come off the train, like caught this guy having his top button undone, and instead of screaming at him or like chewing him out for it, he goes, right, you need to do your top button up. Maybe if you've been out late in the officers' mess and had a couple drinks, then perhaps you'd venture to undo it. You know, it's like, I just love that massive juxtaposition between like the shenanigans like drunken British officers get up to versus American ones get up to. Like, British officers are usually like more like gentlemen and reserved about it, but the worst thing I've ever seen is I actually did see once two drunken lieutenants, basically they thought it would be a good idea after a late night out drinking in the officers' mess, is that they went and they found themselves a boat, and so they took this boat out into the lake, and then they started like shooting fucking fireworks at each other in the lake. After a couple drinks. I'm pretty sure that one made it into the news as well. It was such like an outrageous scandal. I mean, it's one of those things, right, where it's like, if it didn't get leaked to the press, then that kind of be like the higher ups would only care about who won, right? So if it was like between guys, officers from two different regiments, so basically what would happen is first thing in the morning when they're like really hungover, right, like a major or like a captain would call them into the office and they'd be like, right, who won? And they'd be like, I won, sir. And they'd be like, right, okay, good lads, all right, fuck off, don't do it again. but because it leaked into the press, like, unfortunately, it's one of those things they had to be like formally disciplined for it because it's not army values. Oh god, that was great. Yeah, I love like hearing about some of the crazy shit people get up to in the service. Let me get caught up to chat. Master and Commander had a great scene between Jack Aubrey and his senior midshipman. Is that the scene with Mr. Hollom, Pavlo? I think Mr. Hollom again was a fantastic depiction of like a young, incompetent, like unsure, quite weak and wet officer. Yeah, because it's like Mr. Hollom's problem wasn't really that he was incompetent. It's not that he couldn't. Oh, I mean, okay, well, he's an officer, so I guess it is. But at the same time, it's like Mr. Hollom had the book smarts to be a naval officer, but he was just too weak. Essentially, he was too weak to like lead and inspire his men. He was like he was obsessed with being liked by the men, and he was like too scared to basically like challenge them, and he was too scared and like too uncertain of himself to be decisive and like, you know, give an instruction, particularly at the beginning of the movie, right, where he sees the glimpse of the French privateer in the fog, and he's like, one of the junior midshipmen come along, and they're like, oh, should we beat to quarters? Well, officer of the watch, you need to make a decision. And then he hesitates, right? This is the thing. This is what I fucking love about Master and Commandos. It's so realistic, right? I think anybody who's been anyone who's been like a junior officer, or maybe you've been like a junior non-commissioned officer, you know, and you get your command for the first time, right, of some form, no matter how big it is, and it's like there's that oh shit moment, right, when something's going on and you realize, right, you're the guy in charge, right, so you are the one who has to make that decision, and it's like, oh, you have that moment where you're like, oh fuck, I don't know what to do. I've never freezed before, but I've had those moments where I'm like, I literally don't have a fucking clue what I need to do next, so I'm just gonna make up a bunch of bullshit and sound like I know what I'm doing. Hopefully it works out. Oh dear. Well, Nazis were hunted by the government, and they started organizing paramilitaries, and general people hated those. There's a lot of nostalgia for the Soviet Union. But actual communists are viewed as weirdos. Oh, I understand, yeah. So it's kind of like the thing is, it's not communism really that people care about. It's more about the glory days for the strength of the Soviet Union, and I guess like the communist uniforms and like the communist aesthetic, I guess, is like, yeah, it's like kind of a representative. It's like representative of those kind of times, I guess. The stream reminds me of that SGA episode where they record messages for home and Rodney talks about whatever and always always comes back to leadership. I fucking love the subject of leadership because, again, it's just that leadership is like so terrible and like non-existent in the civilian sector. And again, it's a completely like different kind of leadership is needed in the civilian sector, but it's the basic thing of like taking accountability and, you know, like treating people with like respect and like explaining to people why they should listen to you, what your vision is and how it's going to succeed. It are like things that so many civilian managers don't want to get engaged with. Like their go-to is to just scream at you and like essentially pull rank in the first instance. And it's like, well, if someone keeps like not doing something, they probably don't understand why it's important. So just grab them and ask them why they're not doing what you told them to do, and then maybe try explaining to them why it's really important for them to do it. And then if they are like a reasonable, like, you know, useful colleague, then they'll go, oh, I see, I understand why this is important. I'm going to make sure to keep doing it now because I understand its purpose. But people don't do that. They just go bait when they go, right, you need to do what I tell you and not question orders, and if you don't do it, I'm going to fucking fire you and blah 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, I wonder why staff turnover is so high and like no one wants to work here. Today you'll be working in the kitchen. Oh shit, hang on a minute, I've lost the fucking thing. Every time I scroll down too much, it like snaps me back down. This stream reminds me that I read that. Today you'll be working in the kitchen. Why am I working in the kitchen? I don't want to work in the kitchen. That's a punishment. I wasn't in the Royal Logistics Corps. Fuck the RLC. The labyrinth of tangents. The tangentception today, yeah. We've gone from girlfriend experience talking to now yapping about leadership in Lord of the Rings and shit. Maulington has the best tangents in the biz. Well, Irie has the best tangents in the biz. Maybe, do I have the best male VTuber tangents in the biz? I don't know. Ah, tangentception, someone said it. I ever knew someone who worked in a call center. Trust me, you learn how to disengage from a conversation real quick. I do know people who worked in call centers. They're all fucking dead inside. They're not people anymore. Captain Americas are rare in the military, thank God, but they do exist. I think I recall reading in like the... How many minutes am I behind? I'm 10 minutes behind chat, fuck. I'm trying to get caught up to chat. I remember reading something that the reason why like Encino Man and Captain America were the way they were in Generation Kill is because both of them were actually intelligence officers who were based... And because like at the time the Marine Corps had a lack of like tier 1 officers in the Marine Corps who could like lead people on combat and recon missions. They basically pulled intel guys and put them into put them like in charge of, you know, door kicking, well, not door kicking, I guess, like scouting recon units. And again, this is the thing where it's like it shows that training isn't enough. Like no matter how badass and elite your training is, at the end of the day, you also need to continually train, and you need to get some like real experience behind you. Otherwise you end up like looking like a bag of shit. So it's like, for example, like I've actually gone, despite my role, I've actually gone on the platoon leaders course, right? So I've actually led platoon level assaults before. But again, just because I've completed the platoon leaders course doesn't mean that I'm now basically like I'm an infantry officer, like I'm at an infantry officer standard. If you tried to get me to lead like a platoon assault, or maybe even something as little as a section assault, I'd be a complete bag of shit compared to, you know, someone who's actually like done that shit regular for a couple years. And I think that shows if people like Encino Man and people like Captain America. It's like, yeah, they may have done the same recon training as everyone else, but they've been in a they've probably been some kind of command tent, like briefing, you know, like colonels and majors for the last 3 or 4 years of their career. They don't know how to lead recon marines into combat. So yeah, of course they're gonna like start like spurging out and show that they're not able to do the job. In the military, there are 3 main jobs that are required for you to do: clean the base's bathroom, clean the troops' boots, and working in the kitchen. Ah, yeah, it was the kitchen joke. Okay, I wasn't quite sure. And also, don't forget about hurry up and wait as well. That's my favorite job. Hurry up and wait. Yeah, same for Encino Man as well. Both went anyway. Ah, yeah, okay, yeah. I finally, yeah, you guys are ahead of me. You guys are 10 minutes ahead of me. That's right. Fuck it, he's crying. Yeah. Is he crying? No, he's not fucking crying. I think he's crying. Okay, he's crying. Fuck it. Sir, the behavior of your fellow, what is it? The behavior of our sister's platoon commander is concerning the men. I don't want to hear any nicknames you have for an officer. I love that shit. The guy who was the driver of the Humvee is on YouTube. Oh, is he? He's doing podcasts and stuff. I have to check him out. What's his name? The British airmen in Qatar were so appalled that me and other helo pilots would drink with... Oh my god, I fucking lost you again. Would drink with our enlisted men. That's a huge no-no in the RAF, apparently. I don't know. The RAF isn't looked at very fondly in either the British Army or the Royal Navy. They're nicknamed Crab Airways, by the way. The RAF and the nickname Crab Airways, and the nickname of Crab Airways comes from, I think it was, I can't remember if it was the Spitfire or the Hurricane, actually. Now it's been a while, but it was either you had to land the Spitfire or the Hurricane almost horizontally in the airfields back in the day, because the nose of either the Hurricane or the Spitfire was raised so high you couldn't actually see the runway if you like tried to land the aircraft like head onto the airfield. So you had to take like an angled approach and like land the aircraft kind of like a 20-30 degree angle, so kind of like a crab, how a crab walks sideways. And another nickname for the RAF in the British Army is we call them the Brill Cream Boys, which is like, Brill Cream is like this greyish viscous liquid that you use to treat sexually transmitted diseases. And the reason why we call them Brill Cream Boys is because the RAF uniform has the same kind of colour and texture of this like herpes cream, right? And again, it's like the insinuation is that RAF personnel are like STDs, right? You know, it's like a kind of sex thing. But yeah, they're I guess it's like, I've seen a lot of memes about the US Air Force, and it's like the RAF is basically just like it's like the US Air Force, but like even more like stuck up and you know, haughty. Like, I actually went to university with a guy who had like had what you Americans would call basically like an all pass. He was basically sponsored to go to he was like basically already confirmed to fly in the RAF as a fighter pilot. And so when I went to university with this guy, he was the sort of chap who had 2 surnames. He had a hyphen surname. He's like, my name is Reginald Beginald, and yes, I'm going to be a pilot in the RAF once I graduate from university, and it's all sorted, and I'm going to go straight to the pilot pipeline. I don't need to worry about going to any of the assessment centers. I'm a confirmed candidate in the fighter pipeline. It's like, yeah, this guy was like the most like fucking stuck up, obnoxious dickhead as well that I'd ever seen in my life, particularly as I'm like a working class lad from a poor background. And he was like, "Hey, you're an officer too, are you? You're going to officer training too, are you? Oh, I see." And he's like, "You're going to the army, are you? Oh," that kind of thing, right? Just guys being dudes, hell yeah. Yeah, Mr. Oh my god, I want to get caught up now. I'm still 10 minutes behind. I'm not making any progress. Mr. Hollum. Is it Holland or is it Hollum? I thought it was Hollum. Maybe it's just Russell Crowe's accent. He's like, Mr. Hollum. Yeah, indecisive, poison herself. That's the thing. But that was my problem. I never had a problem with indecisiveness. My major weakness as a leader is actually being too decisive too quickly. Actually, it's like sometimes they're like Mr. Maulington. You don't need to, Mr. Maulington. Sometimes you don't need to act right away. You can actually spend some time and collaborate. With your senior non-coms as to the best course of action. Whereas I'm not. I'd be like, shit, I'm in charge. Section advance. Section advance. It's charge, cavalry charge right now. Wasn't quite that bad, really, but yeah. I mean, not that I was in that fucking position as an engineering officer. What did you say there? You managed to place the stickers. Awesome. The shield one is so. Oh, I hate it when it's slightly out of alignment. Hopefully you'll forget about it, but you'll need to fix it. You'll forget about it. You have to do one of the two, otherwise it'll bother you. I did some training with the Queen's Dragoon Guard guys, and they were pretty cool. Exchanging clothes, patches, and MREs. Oh, what did you think about British MREs, by the way, buddy? Did you try the chicken tikka masala MREs that we have? That's actually a lot of our MREs are basically just like curry MREs. The chicken tikka masala one with cheese actually is one of my favorite. I'd never liked curry before I tried that MRE, and now I like it. Your cavalry scouts, what are their Vics and not bread? Not what their Vics and not breads? Yeah. I think like the best, if we were to like design the best armored fighting vehicle in the current day, I think if you had the hull of the warrior and then you stuck the turret of the Bradley on it, I think that would probably be like the best armored fighting vehicle the world has ever seen, honestly. I mean, it's very long in the tooth, the warrior now, and so is the Bradley, to be fair, but still, I think the thing is that you don't really need to push armored fighting vehicle design too far, really. It already kind of like hit its peak in the 80s, I think, honestly. It's like you just want something that's that can kind of at least hold a section and is sufficiently low profile enough that you can't see it from like a mile away, doesn't kick up too much exhaust and fumes, and has like a nice bit of punch to it so it can support the infantry. Oh, boss music's back. Let's not do boss music, it throws me off. Underground music time for Resident Evil. There we go. Hey, Felix, I'm still here. We're tangenting about military stuff now. Oh, the Monty Python reference. Anyone got anything they'd rather be doing than marching up and down the square? Yes, Atkinson. What would you rather be doing, Atkinson? Well, Sarge, I'd rather be at home with the wife and kids. Would you now? Yes, Sarge. All right, off you go. Now, anyone else have any problems with my little scheme of marching up and down the square? Sarge? Yes, Wickley, what is it? Well, I'm learning the piano. Learning the piano? Yes, Sarge. And I suppose you want to go practice, eh? Marching up and down the square, not good enough for you, eh? Well, all right, off you go. Love that scene. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna skip chat and just try to get caught up with people. The dude's name is Jason Lilly, and the channel is called Savage. Thank you very much. I'm gonna note that down. I'm gonna go binge his stuff later. Don't touch my chill Mac. Too much armor, and if you have a tank, not enough, and you don't have an APC. Yeah. American MREs are much better now than back in the 80s and 90s. It was pretty grim back then. Yeah, I really like Steve MRE, 1989? 86? I can't remember the full name of the channel now. But I saw he did, like, I'm pretty sure he did an MRE review, didn't he, of the famous vomit omelette, I think you called it, right? I've heard all about the legendary vomlet. Yeah, that sounds fucking gnarly. That sounds nasty. Like Cav is best for cavalry scouts. Something like the Jackal would be best. God, the Jackal. I mean, yeah, it's not the problem with the Jackal. The Jackals tended to break down an awful lot. When I was in service, I'd always have at least like 4 or 5 Jackals in the shop at all times. They really did not like being beaten, the Jackals. But then, part of that is due to the fact that the MOD was so fucking cheap that they didn't want to pay they didn't really want to pay for us to maintain them properly. We always had to like cannibalize shit from working vehicles and then use the cannibalized parts to get the working vehicles in some kind of operational shape. And then it reached a point where we went without like resupplying of parts for so long, we'd basically have to like keep like a spreadsheet of what the fuck we've done to the mothballed vehicles, because I'd be like, right, we need like a, I don't know, like we need this part from like for like a warrior or a jackal, and it's like, right, okay, we're gonna go cannibalize one of the mothballed vehicles that we've had to mothball, basically because we don't have enough parts to keep it running. And it's like, oh shit, we've already like cannibalized like half the fucking parts from it. So what's still left in this vehicle? What could we still salvage from it? Get the spreadsheet quick. And I'll be like, oh, this is nice. Basically like playing EVE Online really like prepared me really well for being like an engineer in the military, because it's basically like EVE Online spreadsheets, but I'm being paid to do it now. Spreadsheets are like a lot of emails and office work. Yeah, there's a scout variant with little armor. Oh, yeah. The scout version with just little armor and roll bars. Fucking hell, yeah, I've not seen that in a hot minute. God. Yeah, it's the yeah. Hang on, let me get a picture of it up on stream. Actually, yeah, they were used a lot in Afghanistan. They were used primarily by the Pathfinder platoon. The Pathfinder platoon is basically, it's like the British equivalent of that Ranger unit that do the recon thing, right? So you could consider the Pathfinders to be like airborne Marine recon guys. I'm pretty sure your Army Rangers have like a unit that's similar to like Force Recon. So basically like those guys. Yeah. So here it is. Let me get it up on stream. Make sure I'm not showing anything that what's it? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Nothing showing. And then let me just remove this. And then let me remove myself. Yeah, so this is a Jackal here. So basically the Jackal was designed primarily, you can see it's very exposed, and the Jackal was primarily designed for Afghanistan. And you can see it's raised highly off the ground. And the reason why it's raised highly off the ground is this is meant to protect the occupants from IEDs, basically. And it did a very good job of protecting the guys from IEDs, due to the distance obviously from it. So a lot of the force from the blast, it wouldn't penetrate the vehicle. However, the problem with this vehicle is, as you can probably tell in the first instance, is that it's an extremely top heavy vehicle. So at the slightest, if you don't go down like the slightest incline, if you don't drive down it correctly, it will cause the vehicle to roll. And there are roll bars, so it will protect you from getting your head crushed if you do unfortunately roll over whilst driving the vehicle. And obviously in old British desert warfare style, exposed commander, exposed driver, exposed gunner. So yeah, if you are being shot at, it's quite a scary experience. Obviously I wouldn't know myself because I've not seen combat. I've never been on a combat deployment. I'm not a Pathfinder, so I never actually used this vehicle, but I did work on this vehicle before. And yeah, so again here, so you could either get it in a configuration with the 50 cal, or you could also stick the Mark 19 to the this turret and have an automatic grenade launcher if you wanted. I always thought the 50 cal was better than the grenade launcher because the grenade launcher kept overheating and jamming all the time, and it was inaccurate as fuck. I do think the 50 cal is a superior firing platform. I don't know if any guys who kind of used these vehicles before have a different opinion on weapons platforms. But also, so this seat here, this is where the you can see kind of where you have the gimpy here. So you have this machine gun. This is where the commander sits. So the commander sits next to the driver. The commander is obviously the leader of either the section or is the, so again, I guess kind of like when you have this Jackal team, this is like a section. So this will be either a corporal or a sergeant. And he'll basically be like the commander of the mission, or like the section leader will be the navigator, and he'll be like the shot caller as to what the Jackal team will be doing, kind of like kind of like a tank crew basically, and then you've got the driver over there, just kind of just shuts up and does whatever the commander tells him to do. And the advantage is actually of this is that it's really easy to dismount from a jackal if you need to dismount really quickly. But yeah, mixed thoughts on the effectiveness of the jackal. They broke down all the time, and they kept rolling over every time you tried to drive down like a hill or a mountain. So yeah, I've heard many, well, not seen, I've heard like many stories of like the Pathfinders rolling their vehicles when they need to like drive around in a panic. So yeah, mixed thoughts on that. Let me get chat back up. Right, there you are. It's funny because I've been reluctant to consider joining the military lately, but honestly, Pippa's stream made me think of going for something like officer once I get my degree. Well, I mean, the thing is, just because you have a university degree doesn't necessarily mean that you're officer material. I mean, it's kind of like you have to think about what branch you want to join and what you want to get out of the military and what you think you'd enjoy doing in the military as well. It's particularly as you have like the GI Bill in America. I do wonder if it's like perhaps for most Americans actually better off if you aren't committed to like a career in the military. It might actually be better to just enlist, and then after 4 years, and you get your GI Bill, if you do think that you would like to go career, and then like becoming an officer is something you want to do, then maybe you can get your degree in service, or see if you can receive a commission in service to go from an enlisted man, like become a Mustang, I think you call them, right? But you call them Mustangs in America. Become a Mustang, become an enlisted man who makes that advancement into officer. But yeah, because then obviously university in America is very expensive, right? So before you make that leap, I guess you want to consider whether you actually want to do it. But then I guess if you're gonna do a degree anyway, regardless, then why not? But I don't know. I think if I was a healthy, like able-bodied American, honestly, I'd do like 4 years in the military after high school and get that GI Bill so I don't have to pay for college, and then think about what I want to do in my life. But I don't know, that's me personally. Jackal, my beloved. Armor 2, Arrowhead nostalgia. Oh my god, I haven't played Armor 2 in donkey's years, man. I used to really like playing the zombie mod for Armor 2. People were jealous of the stats. Do you still wear Stetsons and spurs in modern day in the army still to this day? That's awesome. Yeah, I really like the Stetsons and spurs look. Like it's like peak. Yeah, I think like the old. Let me think. When would it have been? I really like the Union Army kind of like cavalry look was pretty cool. Yeah, like kind of like the Civil War kind of era cavalry uniforms, I think are peak. I really like the Stetsons and the spurs are cool. That looks similar to the Pinghouses we used to carry in the Payblades for certain JSOC units. Yeah. Never underestimate the power of jealousy. Yeah. Mark 19s are a bit... Yeah, Mark 19s are a fucking motherfucker to maintain. I mean, fortunately, being a good officer, I didn't have to get my hands dirty and, you know, fix them myself. But it's like, I've never known that platform to not jam or to not, like, get shit. Just fucking... Not, like, get carbon build-up or just get shit all in that fucking... firing, like in the firing mechanism. Is like a terrible platform to maintain. So I always hear people moaning and complaining about it like breaking down as well in the middle of contact. They forget it can lower itself on the suspension as well to make a lower silhouette. Yep, that's right. I don't remember many scouts being jealous of the EIB. We've always considered the spur rider harder. So you don't have any illusions about the military. It can be a rewarding experience. It's not for everyone, but sometimes you never know until you try it. Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things. It's not for everyone. But again, it depends on like what you want to get out of it. I think kind of like part of the reason that kind of inspired me to do that kind of thing is like masculinity and stuff, like leadership and like being a manly, like being a decent man. Basically, is like something that's really important to me. Like being a traditional, like, you know, like man, you know, like being a man is really important to me. So I've kind of thought that the military would be basically the like one of the best things for me to hit that, I guess, like personal development kind of goal thing. AGLs are very much superior to HMGs with drone spotting. Combat footage in the last 3 years really showed how deadly and inaccurate indirect fire is. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. I wasn't in a T farm myself, so I can't comment on like the effectiveness of weapon systems. I do watch like the combat footage on the Ukrainian war and stuff, but it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I just like the idea of like a more reliable platform that fires like laser accurate 50 cal rounds at something, rather than a grenade launcher that keeps breaking down all the time, is a bitch to maintain and like shits out grenades like in different postcodes. And like after you fired the third one. Oh yeah, couldn't you you could probably like enlist in maybe like the Air National Guard would be cool, right? And start learning how to fly aircraft after, you know, start like flying aircraft after school or something. Every cavalry division has their own mounted unit for parades. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's the thing. I'm glad to see that some like military, particularly like the US military, still holds on to tradition. I don't know, from a surface level, the US seems to be like one of those militaries that for the most part is just gets with the times and just continuously progresses for modern war. So yeah, it's nice to see that despite, I guess, the relative youth of the US military, right? It's not a particularly old institution, that you guys still maintain your traditions. What do you guys do when you have a break? It depends. Depending on the situation and what's going on, you could go home for the weekends. You could lounge around in the barracks and play video games. You could go out on adventurous training potentially if there's like opportunity and there's a funding and budget for it. So you could go, for example, you could go to somewhere like, you could go like skiing in Switzerland, you could go like mountain climbing in like Scotland or Norway in like the Arctic conditions. You could go like swimming or diving somewhere. There's like a lot of like adventurous training you could do and shit. You could go on like cross-country runs. You could play polo if you wanted to. You could go beagling. You could do like really fancy posh like fucking like aristocracy shit. You could go beagling. I never did beagling, but yeah, the beagling was an option at Sandhurst. Yeah, monkey jizz lube. Oh god, yeah, the fucking lube. You never have enough lube as well. I was always ordering like lubes and shit, and it'd be like, we just got like a lube. We got an order of lube. We got like a shipment of lube last week, and I'd be like, yeah, but that's gonna be gone in like 4 days. We need more lube. Whenever we get lube, and I'm like, right, we got the lube. Now we need to order more lube, but we just got lube. Yeah, but it's gonna be gone in 4 days. We need more lube. Always need more lube. Never not enough lube. Yeah, you get with the times. What is beagling? Not actually sure what beagling was. I just heard it mentioned as a sport. Let's actually have a look. I'm pretty sure beagling is like some kind of, I think it's pretty much hunting, I'm sure. It's like hunting with beagles, like the dog, and it's like hunting foxes and shit. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So beagling is basically, it's like, I don't know because I never did it, but apparently, yeah, you could go basically hunting with beagles. So I guess it's like, you do it on foot. So basically, I guess what you're doing is you're just walking around like the countryside for like all day with like a pack of beagles and just like hunting foxes and like game and shit. Basically, seems like a very like lax and very posh thing for someone to do. Personally, myself, I always just did cross country. I always did cross country and running and like strength based training and like swimming and stuff. I never did polo or like beagling or sports. I just did strength, cross country, and boxing is what I did. Survival school in Colorado was a lot of fun in hindsight. Not eating for 3 days was not fun at all. Yeah, my training wasn't too bad. The worst I ever suffered is I had to go as part of Operation Self-Reliance. I went about 48 hours without sleep or like eating or drinking anything. And it was crazy. That was like the first time I think I'd ever been like that. You know when you go through life, right? You know, like normal life, you get tired, you know, you get hungry, you get thirsty, and you think that, you know, you think that you're exhausted, you think that you're dehydrated, you think that you're hungry. But then you're put in a situation, right? Like where you're out there in the field, right? You're doing like a land nav exercise, or you're doing some kind of like survival, or you're doing some kind of like field craft thing. And then you go 48 hours where you literally have not had a bite to eat, or you've not had much to drink, and you know you're like fucking, you learn the true meaning of what it is to be starving or like dehydrated or like tired, and you're in that situation where you are fully you're fully cognizant of the fact that you should not be falling asleep when you're on stag, right? When you're on watch, we call it stag. Is that, and it's like you're like sat there in your foxhole, whatever. You're there, you're in some kind of dugout or position, and you're like, you know, you're on stag, you're on watch out for the camp, and it's because you've stopped moving, you've stopped doing something, you're just sat there, just kind of staring, not really doing anything, just looking around. And it's like, because you're not doing anything, your body kind of like takes that now as a message where it's like, okay, I really need some sleep. It's time to go to sleep now because you're not doing anything. So I've been in that situation where I haven't fallen asleep on stag before, but I've been in that situation where like my buddy or someone comes along, and when they see me, like my head's like right down, and I'm like looking at my boots, I'm like looking at my rifle, I'm looking at the ground, and I'm like, my head's like kind of bobbing up and down. I'm almost like asleep, like on my feet almost, but I'm kind of in that weird position where I've not lost consciousness. I'm not asleep, but I've not realized that I've kind of like not realized that I'm about to go to sleep, kind of thing. Take care, Sample. Take care, buddy. Love you, buddy. Full homo love, Sample. Here you can't starve because the kitchen's always nearby. Yeah, but it's different. It's different though, right? When you're on exercise, and part of the exercise is that you go. It is about like being able to like look after yourself when you're in like extended fieldcraft. It's not beagle racing, no. I think it's just hunting. Here's what to do during break time in the Hellenic army. Do homework, get Fanta, play guitar, watch TV, and develop a nicotine addiction. Yeah, I don't drink or smoke I never smoke under any circumstances, but I don't drink unless it would like be rude or inappropriate not to in the social like situation. So yeah, I could always like I always had like spare cigarettes to like use to barter with people for shit, right? The cigarettes for like chocolate or like porn mags or like fucking like shit that we need, right? I've been awake in the field for almost 72 hours before I started having hallucinations. I don't think I quite reached the point of hallucinations, but I did like kind of reach the point where yeah, like, have you ever experienced that thing where you almost get a second wind, where it's like you're so tired you can't sleep anymore even if you want to, and you feel like really like wired, you feel like really wired for some reason, but at the same time you feel kind of like sickly and weird, right? Have you been that before? Have you guys ever rucked and passed out while walking, kept walking and working? I haven't actually. That's crazy. No, I tend to stop. I tend to like stop and freeze when I hit that phrase, when I hit that point. I've never been on like autopilot before. That's an interesting one. The drone zone, yeah, it is disconcerting to lose track of time, right? Yeah, it's like I get really paranoid because it's like, oh shit, did I actually fall asleep? Like, how long have I been out? Has anyone noticed? Am I gonna get a bollocking for it? Fuck. The linchpins of every defensive position in Ukraine are AGLs and 82mm mortars, not firearms per se. Yeah, it seems to be actually. Yeah, it seems to be. It does seem to be a very much a war of like drones, grenades, like artillery fire, like mortars and explosive stuff. I've seen some of those clips of like trench positions being slammed with that big Russian artillery, and that looks like fucking mental. That looks so terrifying. And it's like I saw one guy like had like some of the like had some like dry grass and like mud and shit that's still like on fire and like smoking from the artillery shell, like fucking like just like cover him, like almost bury him alive, and he's like going like, ah, it's hot, ah, fuck. It's like, fucking hell, absolutely terrifying. I would not, well, I don't know. I think at this rate, thanks to Sir Keir Starmer, I don't know, maybe I will be going to Ukraine in the next year or so, guys. If I am going to Ukraine in the next year or so, you know what? I won't quite be able to live stream myself fighting the war in Ukraine as part of the new British Army of the Rhine. But what I'll do is I'll like on Twitter every day, I'll just upload like a selfie of myself and give you guys a little journal as to what I got up to on that day. Yeah. Oh god, that'd be fun. I do wonder if we're going to be mobilized to fight in Ukraine. I do wonder if they're actually going to do it. Yeah, stream for the... Oh my god, imagine that, guys. Like, imagine if, like, I go silent for 7 months and then, like, you just see, like, a random guerrilla stream from Maulington and then you turn into the stream and I'm in a trench, like, being showered by Russian artillery and I'm just on the stream, like... Oh, you can't fucking see it, I guess, because of my model. But I'm giving you, like, the double peace sign and I've got my tongue out and I'm like, hey, guys, I'm currently in Ukraine. I'm with 4th Battalion, the Rifles. And yeah, currently we're currently falling back after the fall of Kiev, and and currently we're engaged in heavy contact with the 82nd Russian Guards Armored Division. And yeah, so how's Face Connect doing these days, guys? Like what's going on in Face Connect land? Is Pippa still streaming? Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. The Russians are beginning an assault on our position. So 1 second, I just need to get on the machine gun and yeah, wait, okay. Yeah, do you want the geoguess as a full chat the doctor location of your squad? Yeah, I guess so. I guess I shouldn't do that. I mean, again, I'm hoping we won't be sent to Ukraine. I'm hoping not. I mean, I don't particularly want to fight for Ukraine, if I'm being honest. Forget Ukraine. I don't particularly want to fight for the United Kingdom currently, speaking honestly. Music and vibe reminds me of those military paranormal stories. Yeah, yeah, I guess it does kind of thing, right? Yeah. Stream from the trenches. Oh yeah. I'm going back to PMC work. Yeah. How's the market for PMC work these days? I know, like, during the height of the global war on terror, like, everybody, like, wanted Marines, and, like, there were so many people getting to PMC work, they would only take, like, Marines and, like, Rangers and, like, SEAL and Delta guys. Has it kind of, like, died down now? Is the pay good? Like, what are they looking for PMCs? Tell Lumia said hello. Nah, fuck that. The last thing I want when I'm in a trench is the fucking yapping of Lumi to piss me off even more. You watch Drone Gore? I don't watch Drone Gore. No, I don't watch any of the gore shit. I just watch some of the clean and sanitized combat footage in Ukraine. I don't particularly get off on watching people get blown to smithereens and to watch people beg for their lives as a grenade drone blows up in their face. It's a bit, yeah, not funny. I need British to make me my plastic Warhammer crap and keep making it. Well, you know what? If we're all dead, Baron, maybe someone else, maybe the Americans can make something with it. Oh, you mailed him care packages of a sleeve of coke and a Listerine bottle full of Jack Daniels. Oh yeah. No Vatnik ever called me incel. Well, that's the thing, right? No Vatnik ever called me a gammon, Felix. Right, like, I'm at this point in my life where I mean, things here in the UK are at that point where I unironically hate my own government more than I hate the Russian, like, government, basically. Right, it's like, if the Russian I don't know, probably I shouldn't say that. I might get arrested or get in trouble if I say that. But put it this way, if the Russians invaded the United Kingdom, I would not consider them to be invaders, really. I mean, not in the first instance. I'll team up with the Russians to get rid of my own government, and then once we've kicked my current government out, then I'll try to kick the Russians out after that, right? But first, yeah, Russians, please do remove my government, please, Russians, thank you. Cha! Cha! Third chance you may get a European golden visa if you fight in the international corp and Ukraine joins the union. Maybe. I mean, maybe you should do like a donathon or a subathon, guys. Give me that lovely Trump golden card to the United States. How much money do we need again for the golden what is it called again? Oh fuck, I forgot the name of it. Is it gold card to USA? How much do I need? How much do I need to get? $5 million. Millions, I need millions and millions of dollars. $5 million I need to move. Okay guys, we need ideas. How am I gonna fund $5 million through streaming? What am I gonna do? I guess I would have to do BFE, like feat streams and shit, I think. Bugger. Look, no matter how much I want to go to America, okay, I'm not whoring myself out, alright? I'm not a femboy. I'm not a dirty little whore. I'm a big, strong, burly man, and I don't want to fucking debase myself and, like, sell my body online to internet gooners. OnlyFans, no. Stop Xing me. Stop Xing me. I'm a big, strong, burly man and I'm sexy. Feet pics in your gear. Ooh. They're gonna knock you down. BFE. No, I'm not doing BFE streams. Okay. It's getting really late. and my voice is fucked. So I think I've run out of shit to talk about as well. Maybe we could just like do a stream fully dedicated to, I don't know, talking about like stupid military shit. That might be fun. Might do that sometime. So yeah, I guess, is there anyone I can? I'll raid Rena. She's pretty cool. I like Rena. So thank you very much for tuning into today's stream, guys. Yeah, I honestly only had like 30 minutes worth of shit I wanted to talk about for girlfriend experience related content, and then after that I was kind of like, I've got you here, what else can we talk about? I just wanted to talk to someone rather than myself about this shit that swirls in my head because it's fun. So thank you for being here to talk about shit with me. The problem is that I do have plenty of friends in real life, but the issue is that they're all fucking married and like got kids and shit, so and none of them watch anime or VTubing, so I can't talk about this shit with them because they're boring like normie fucking like dads now, right? So it's like I don't know any single men anymore like in real life to talk about nerd shit with, sadly. So I've only got you to talk about this shit, my captive audience. Anyway, thank you very much for today's stream. I've actually in a rare display of Lord Maulington, I've actually got like several streams planned for next week. So on Tuesday, I'm going to do a early 2000s American and British rock karaoke. I'm going to do like Tenacious D, Gorillaz, like Rammstein, Saliva, lots of other good shit like that. And then I've got a collab with Nova Crusader on Thursday where we're going to be reviewing anime mechs, probably a lot of Gundam particularly maybe, but other stuff as well. I'm going to be talking about my favorite mech, which I've decided is the Big Zam with the sexy legs. And then next Friday, instead of like talking about VTubing, I'm just going to ramble at you incoherently about anime for about 30 minutes, and then we're going to do like another 3 hours of yapping about other random stupid shit. Oh, you saw a Saliva still doing concerts? Oh, didn't the just before we move on, didn't the original lead singer of Saliva like die or something? Or am I confusing him with the Drowning Pool guy? Like I really love Click Click Boom from Saliva. That's like so many AMVs back in the early 2000s like had like Saliva's click click boom. I'm in the bar with the studio, hit me with the radio. Click click boom. I'm here with the new style, with the buck wild. Great shit. So many great songs were like introduced to me by AMVs in the early 2000s. Random stupid shit is the best topic for sure. That's probably something I miss most from being among military guys, is the ability to just yap for hours about the most randomest shit, right? And it'd be a struggle to get like a word in because guys would just like endlessly like bump off of each other for ages. Yeah, solves PvP montages of that. Oh god, mega cringe. Anyway, how do I do this again? Go to customization. Thank you very much for tuning in to today's stream, guys. My voice is fucking fucked big time. I'm gonna raid Rena. Hopefully she's still streaming. And behave yourselves when you're in Rena's stream. She's a good girl. She was part of a VTuber corporation called Oceanlink. She's now gone independent because Oceanlink is dead, unfortunately. Don't bring any of that up, obviously. She's now an indie VTuber. So yeah, enjoy yourselves, guys. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, whatever time zone you're in. Thank you, spasiba, Russians. How yeah, brother, to the Americans. Fuck you, Europeans. And yeah, take care, guys. It's the brick woman still. Oh, fucking hell, I love it. I'm gonna make so many memes, like Game of Thrones memes about fucking that ginger guy. What's his name? Torvik? Whatever the fuck his name is, about Erina, right? It's the big woman still. Yeah, I fucking love that meme. Anyway, take care, guys. Bye-bye. Love you. I love you, my lovely boys. Oh, yeah. The Latinas as well. Oh, shit. How do you say goodbye in Spanish again? Buenos dias? Buenos dias, señores. Buenos dias. Don't worry. I'm gonna raid into her. Don't worry.